All right. What's up, sports fans? What's up? What's up, everybody? For the Undisputed 2021, for the love of sports. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. So, sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late. I had a little difficulties. But we're here. We're here. We're in the building. So look, man, we got some matches for at least four that we can talk about the potential of them happening in 2021. A couple of them we may actually get in 2021. Um, no. Well, here's the thing, man. Let's talk about this obvious one first. And I don't know. Now, basically, it's Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, which to me, getting 4 belt undisputed and that division is probably the toughest at this point. Probably the toughest division to see that. Soccer Training Club was good with you. Ringside MXBC, what's up? What's up? The Daily Dose of Boxing. All right, I feel you. Willie Williams in the building. What's good with you, Willie Williams? Joe, what's up, Joe? So, yeah, Hard Recoil, what's good with you, brother? Salute. So, man, now, scenario wise, that could happen late 2021. This fight could happen. Will it happen? I don't know, man. I'm losing. I don't know. I can't even say I'm losing. I don't lost faith in this fight, man. I gotta be honest. I believe a lot of y'all have too. Oh shit! I forgot to put the link in the chat. Um, some people just flat out saying the fight ain't gonna happen at all. Intangible in the building. Warp speed. What's good? What's good? Got this link. Just in case someone want to come up. Just in case. Yeah, but hell, after the fight, Spence didn't even mention him. No, but see, here's one thing why I still say it's a possibility. Whatever. I, you know, it's basically like just a negotiation way to keep you to keep it real, to keep it a buck. But Wolf Speed and Tangible, what's up? What's up? Chain with Ice in the building. What's good with you? What's good with you? It's basically just like it's just to sit down at the negotiation table and make the fight. But I said this a while ago. Um, it's a race. It's a race to Pacquiao, and it looked like Errol Spence. He might be in the lead. When we talked about this before concerning Manny Pacquiao. Samuel, wow, what's good? What's good with you, Samuel Shaw? When we talked about this before with Manny Pacquiao, it's better, in my opinion, for Terrence Crawford to get the Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, look like Spence the forerunner right now, especially with this article. I don't know how much validity it is with Manny Pacquiao wanting to send it. Well, I mean, there's valid. Manny Pacquiao in his camp did say that they want Errol Spence, right? Maybe they see weakness. You know how people always talk, or at least this is going to be the talk coming. Maybe they see weakness because of the Danny Garcia fight. Whatever is interest being shown from the Pacquiao side to Errol Spence. So uh, let's say Errol Spence fights, or even Crawford fight Pacquiao. It's still a reality that late 2021 we could get a matchup between those two guys. Now, will it happen? I don't know. I don't know. But neither of them have anywhere to go. Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as four belt undisputed is concerned, that will be the last stop. Those two guys. Uh, again, if Crawford gets it, if he gets to fight with Manny, and should he win, because it's not really a guarantee both of these guys beat Manny. I think we all expect them to beat Manny, but it's no guarantee. But if Crawford should get it, man, again, I just think that it'll be better. We know that he'll try to pursue the fight with Spence. He's not in the way, and then he's about to leave Bob Errol. At least that's the speculation that he's going to leave. So he'll be wide open. But this one, like I said, this one is like low on the totem pole possibility of happen. Even if it could happen, it will probably be late 2021. I'm not even sure that it will. What's up, Mark?
What's up, man?
Yeah, just rambling, bro. Because I'm not gonna do like a 7 hour during the day. Man, this is why I'm late this morning, bro. I kind of messed up rocking that long. When medicine
Yeah,
wore off, I figured it all out.
yeah.
As soon as that medicine wore off, I tell you, Willie Williams, Killerwood, what's up, Killerwood? Justin Trouble in the building, boxing virus, what's up, brother? He said, what's up, D? I honestly think Pacquiao has a better chance to beat Crawford than Spence. I'm wondering about either of those fights. At one point, I thought that I thought the same. I was like, well, no, I thought that Pacquiao had a better chance to beat Spence, and then I, as I see Crawford at 147, I had a sneaky suspicion that Pacquiao might be hell for Crawford in some ways. But then I thought about the reach, and I don't know boxing virus. I kind of went back and forth with that. But I think maybe Spence, just seeing the performance that I saw with Danny, I think maybe Spence, but never can't tell, man. Spence and Crawford got two totally different styles. I know this Manny's going to be awkward for either of them. I'll tell you that. Well, what do you think about that, Mike? What boxing virus said there? I mean, damn, Mike, I done changed your name, Mark.
Um, I, I don't really know.
I know, right?
I think he can beat either guy, and he can lose to either guy. I think he can beat either guy close. I think either guy could actually beat him very strongly. That's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
his
exactly.
thing. I think both of them could really damage him, but I
Yeah.
think he could still win. I got to be honest. A guy who's been around that long, and unless he's shot now because it's been over a year and a half, that's the type of dude who you just can never rule out in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
just that type of guy. You just can never rule him out for some reason. You think he's gone. You think he's past it. Oh yeah, he's fucking Keith Thurman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll pick Keith. I'll pick Keith.
Right.
Fucking dude, fucking drops him in the first round, and he hasn't dropped anybody in like 4 years. Like I don't fucking know anymore with Manny Pacquiao.
Right. And you know what else too? We don't know, like, what if Chief Thurman was like on 1,000 that night? What if he felt good and he was like almost all the way back? Forget about what we've seen in the performance. What if it's just Manny was just that good? You know what I mean? And then people don't pretty much think about it that way. And then Manny gets in there and he fucks up Spencer Crawford because he won that fight for a reason, right? Thurman was back. Josecito was all he needed. You know what I mean? And then he
Yeah,
just
but
gets in
I
there and
mean,
fucks one of them
everybody's
up.
downplaying Josecito, right?
Not
Josecito
me,
under
bro.
Robert Garcia.
You
Yeah,
know,
but
I never
under
did.
Robert Garcia, he's improved so much.
Yes, he
So
has.
much.
Yes, he has. But remember, man, I don't know if we talked about that or not. I know I talked about it with Corey Lee, uh, back during that Josecito Lopez situation. I was like, man, I know Keith Thurman should have beat Josecito Lopez because I was giving Keith Thurman heat. I was like, but I'm not shitting on Josecito Lopez. Josecito Lopez was fighting his ass off. And I've been watching him ever since, just like you know, just kind of keeping an eye on him. I already knew about him, but keeping an eye on him. And look, Robert Garcia, man, I know Derek James is probably going to be a running for this thing here. But man, Robert Garcia he's a great trainer, bro, because when you could
Yeah.
take a guy and you can see visibly how you're making this guy a better fighter. That's what already an established fighter, a fighter who's been around. You take him and you bring him to another level. You know, yeah, that's showing good training skills there. And Robert Garcia's shown that more than just in Josecito Lopez and other fighters. You see him take them and turn them into something different. They come out and they just look so much better. Remember the fight? You mentioned this. His instructions in the Valdez fight.
Yeah.
Out of the corner. I mean, like just when you listen to the shit that he's saying, I'm like, bro, Robert Garcia is a great trainer. He's a great trainer. Probably one of the best trainers in the business.
A lot of people just hate on him because he's Mikey Garcia's older brother, but the truth of it is he's actually a fantastic trainer.
He damn sure is, man. And it's evident. It's just evident. And his guys, bosses, they don't look bad. Like the Brandon Figueroa. Who was that kid that fought Brandon Figueroa? Almeida. Wasn't Robert training him?
I don't know offhand, man.
I think Robert was training him, and like I said, he lost, but even in the loss, he looked good. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what's the sign of a good trainer to me, right? Outside of all of this stuff, when I'm watching a fight, right? Let's say I'm watching a fight and I see Abel Sanchez is in the let's say there's a prospect and he's fighting a guy and Abel Sanchez has him, and I go, ah, shit, that dude's got Abel Sanchez. That dude's gonna get wrecked, right? That's an ongoing joke. But if I see Robert Garcia pop up in the other person's corner, I'm like, okay, this might be a rough night. This might be a rough night. Because Robert gets his guys ready.
Exactly. And he gets them like fully prepared. Get the smoke. What's good? Carlos Mendoza in the building. What's good with you, brother? Who we got? D Style. What's up, D Style Boxing? What's good with you? What's up, Intangible? What's up, brother?
Hello. We're getting into divisions that could be 4 belt undisputed next year.
That's what we get into. I'm just right now, me and Mark just kind of went off talking about some things, but the first one we was going, my opinion, was the least likely one, and that was Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I mean,
I don't think that's the least likely.
Well, yeah, good. I'm glad you don't, because we're gonna talk about all of that, and I might not have had one. I'm glad y'all up here too. That is potential that I might not have had one on my mind, but we could discuss those as well. So I personally think that this is the least likely one. I think that it could be made. We could get this in late 2021, November, December. Like I said, Spence looks like the forerunner for Pacquiao. If he gets that, boom, we got Crawford next, right? Or vice versa. Crawford gets Pacquiao, boom, we got Spence next, right? We will have to see. I mean, the very next fight doesn't seem that either of them appears to be interested in making a fight with each other. Spence, he didn't really give any information on anyone, and Crawford says he wants Pacquiao. So we know that fight, at least they're looking to make that fight before each other. But what was you saying about that, Mark? First, let's get intangible. What you think, intangible, about Spence Crawford?
So let me just ask this question: Spence versus Crawford for undisputed is the least likely in all of boxing, or just amongst the mainstream?
No, that's just my opinion. Mark has another one. We're going to discuss that, which is good because I like to.
Now, hold on. Let me preface this. Unlikely with the possibility of happening, intangible, because I don't want you bringing up divisions that are completely fragmented and like 105 and 108 and shit, because I know you'll do that shit to be literal.
Right. Yeah. But
okay.
mind intangible. Let's talk about them because I don't want to leave the little guys out. I've said before, when you get to the weights that small, I don't know. I don't even sit up here and act like I do, but I don't pay attention to those guys that small. Can't lie. So if you know that there's potentially a 4-belt undisputed matchup, that we could get there in 2021, yeah, let's talk about it, fam. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. But so there with Errol Spence though, and Crawford intangible. Do you feel like, I mean, what's the probability that you give that fight
Not
happening?
much.
Right.
I can't give you like an exact percentage. I really don't know whatsoever, but
Right.
I wouldn't say it's a high possibility. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yo, that's true, Carlos. She said if Pacquiao beats Spencer Crawford unifies at the age of 42 years old, he'll be in my top 10. I mean, he'll be probably beating a lot. Some of the Pacquiao fans got him number one already, so that'll just cement it for them. You can't tell them shit. You can't tell them shit now. If he went 4-belt undisputed. But listen, what do you guys think about that? Before we move to the next 4-belt undisputed, this is what Carlos said here. What do y'all think concerning Pacquiao for that? I can't even lie. That would be fucking massive if he did that.
Okay, if he does what? If Pacquiao beats Spence or Crawford, so he becomes a unified champion at
The
this age?
undisputed champion, yeah.
Oh, if he well,
Beats
it says
both.
or. But if he beats both and becomes undisputed at this stage of his career?
Well, he'll probably beat one. I guess Carlos's scenario is that, those two fight. You know what I mean? Or he's just saying unifies.
Yeah. Yeah. So if he beats either of them, either one,
Yeah.
this may shock a lot of people. Where he is in the conversation of greatest of all time to a lot of like people who rate resumes,
Mm.
one win ain't gonna change a whole lot.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the
I read it wrong.
conversation he's in. That's the conversation. Even two won't change a lot. It'll change a couple things. It'll bump him up a couple places, maybe 4 or 5 on my list anyway. But it won't like whoa. All of a sudden he's up 17 places. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Just
So
too
yeah,
many
I,
bridges.
I feel you now. I read it wrong and I got a little excited there. But yeah, just unifying. No, I'm with you. If he unifies, that's great. That's great. Well, I was thinking for about now if they fought each other per se, and he fights the winner, which I think is the best scenario because he deserves to be the anchor on that. But either way, if that was to happen and he just won and got all 4 belts, I think that would be fantastic. But that's what I wanted to get you guys' idea, and I don't know either because maybe like top 25, top 30, maybe. I
I
mean,
have him
because I don't know
26th.
enough, but I think that like maybe top 25 if he did go for the undisputed.
He's already top 25.
Well, good. Then I think he'll be fairly placed, no matter how you look at it. If you got him there, I would trust you guys over all greatest of all time over mine because I don't know enough. A lot of guys I don't even know. If you guys have him in the top 25 already,
Yeah, I
think
have him. I don't have him in my top 25. I have him actually just outside at 26. But
even still, that's good.
like, if he were to become undisputed, he could move up about 9 or so places because that would add an undisputed to his resume.
With the amount of championships, with the amount of lineal titles and everything intangible, you still got him 26? Jesus.
No, yeah, I do.
Jude, what's up? Oi, Ozzy. But yeah, okay, all right. So intangible, spearheaded the next 4-belt undisputed match, and go down to one of your weights that I'm pretty sure I don't know about. Let's talk about it for the love of sports.
I'm not going to go to a division where all the belts are fragmented because, I mean, really any division with all the belts fragmented among any weight class is probably not going to happen. We'll go to 118, though, with Inoue, unified, and Casemiro and Donaire possibly if he wins against Rodriguez. What do we think?
I think that there's a possibility for that one, even though there's 2 fights into it, because Inoue will fight him. Like he'll fight 3 times a year. You know what I mean? And so there, with that being said, I cannot rule that one out, but because he's shown us the propensity to fight that many times a year. You know what I mean? How he'll fight 4 times a year, right? So what the fuck? That definitely is a possibility. It's the other guys, right? That's holding the belt. What I don't, you
Casemiro.
know, that's the thing. Like those guys holding. I think that Casemiro and his team, honestly, I like Casemiro, but I think that the whole Louis shit, I think that was a little bit of a clout chase at the time. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't turn down the opportunity, but I just don't know about enough about these other 2 guys holding the belts, what the reality of that 4 belt would be in that division. But you guys can enlighten me.
I wouldn't say it's quite likely for one very simple reason. Inoue's with top rank, Casemiro's with PBC. There. That's my take.
Ubali and Daenerys are both over there at the moment as well.
At PBC?
And Rodriguez, too. They're all fighting on PBC at the moment.
So what would be more likely is a Donaire Casemiro.
Unification. If Daenerys beats Rodriguez, we can't just say he's going to win.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Well,
Yeah,
I will
Rodriguez is a
say
good
this.
boxer.
I think that's where the obstacle lies, because we can't just say that he'll beat Rodriguez. That's a fact. But if he does, I think that's where the obstacle lies, because we know Inoue will fight that many times a year, but will Nonito? He's kind of older, right?
Yeah, that's a bit of a tall task.
It might be a tall task, but the need to fight 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, he has fought very commonly in the past. He fought 4 times in 2012, actually.
Well, that's one that I would actually, I'm pretty sure you guys are right along with me, especially if it ended up being a Nonito Donaire Inoue rematch. That would be beautiful. We get that in like September, November. That shit would be fucking beautiful. For all the marbles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that could be made at some point.
Now, I actually had that one in the loop because they're on the description and title and shit. So monster noise. So I actually had this one in mind.
There is one that can hypothetically happen, right? Hypothetically, but it's very unlikely, right? Joe Smith fights Vlasov in February, right?
Right.
Right, and he becomes If he becomes WBO champion, they're gonna want to have him fight Beterbiev sometime in this summer to late summer. So if he fights Beterbiev in the late summer, let's say Beterbiev fights in March against Fang Long Meng, gets his IBF mandatory out of the way, then there'd be a champion with 3 belts, and then possibly, because they were talking about it for last year, but the Rona hit, you could have Bivol versus the winner.
Yo, if Joe Smith wins, I think he takes the fight. Now that was one I wasn't even thinking about, Mark. Glad you said this shit. I think that it's of course we got a favor better be up here. We don't have to, but I favor better be up here. But if Joe Smith could pull off that win over better be up, I
He'd
think
go for Undisputed. He'd go for it.
And I don't see Bivol turning down that smoke either. And this is a division I didn't have in mind because as you can see, I didn't even have them on the title. But touche, Mark, because I feel you there. I think that it's predicated on Joe Smith. What you guys think about that, though? Because if Better Biev win, I mean, what the fuck are the chances? He could have been fought Biev.
Well, him and Bivol were going to fight last August.
Why didn't that materialize?
Because of the Rona.
Oh,
and then Beterbiev's mandatory got called.
Okay, that makes sense. Question mark in the building. What's good?
They had a deal in place to fight a unification out in Russia for big money.
Right. If I'm Pac-Man, no way I waste time with Spencer, but just target the UFC. Man, please. Okay, now, Killer Will, that makes all kind of good sense, but We talking about what we want, fam. Fuck all that. I mean, I look, fuck the unification match. I mean the crossover match, Killer. Because here's the thing, that's always there for Pac. Win, lose, or draw. You gotta understand that. That shit's gonna be there for him. Even if he loses to Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, you think that that diminishes any stock in the crossover fight? I seriously doubt it, fam. I mean, it may diminish some because he's not a champion anymore, but it's still Pacquiao. That fight's always there. That fight's a retirement fight for him, and it's going to draw. Pacquiao's a fucking star. You know, he's one of these guys. Like he's the active legend. So, I mean, again, Killer, I'm not even going to deny that that's not a possibility that he takes that money fight. You know, especially if he says go fight Mikey Garcia. Like fuck Spence and Crawford. He goes fights Mikey Garcia. Now he's still a champion in the crossover fight. There's a lure there, so I get it. But we basically talking about what we want as boxing fans. And what we want as boxing fans ain't no damn crossover match with Manny Pacquiao. I know I don't. I mean, it's great for him for his pockets, but I'm not interested in that shit versus him fighting a boxer. I'll tell you that right now. I don't give a fuck if it is Mikey. If I have my choice, Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia, or Pacquiao and fucking Masvidal or McGregor or fucking Khabib, and you gotta be kidding me, bro. I'm going Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia all day long. Like, I don't care about that crossover shit, man. People need to stop shitting on RGBA. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I have picked Josecito Lopez. We already know how you feel about Robert Garcia, Samuel Sanchez, Samuel Snackshaw. Yeah, nah. Robert, they do need to stop sleeping on him though, for real, man. Robert's the man. He is in my book. All right, let me slide down. Brian Harkin, what's up, brother? Chin Smoke, what's good? What's good? I'm always behind, Mark. You know how I do. Soccer Training Club, what's up? Soccer Training Club, saluting everybody. Alistair 49 in the building. All right, Mark. Next, because you just bought a good one in there with the 175. I wasn't even thinking about that, man. I ain't gonna lie. Fabrizio, what's up? If we stretch, we can get Pacquiao outside of 25. I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they got him up there already, so I think with a win like that, he definitely goes fucking higher. I mean, I think he's fairly placed there. That's where I think I did pretty good with the information not knowing. I said 25 or 30 anyway. I'll join in a minute. D girl made me some breath. Oh yeah, enjoy, my friend. I will be here. We just cracking the surface right now. 28 minutes. Tony Boswell, what's good? What's good? What's good with you, fam? All right, Mark. So, uh, now I don't really know the status of this one here, Mark. The next one I'm getting ready to talk about because it's so fucked up with Suleiman and Devin Haney and Teofimo and all of this. You know,
Yeah.
I personally call him, and I've been calling him this since he won, and all the confusion because I got tired of arguing about it. I just call him a 4-belt unified ring champion. You know what I mean? That's 4-belt unified. Because I don't know what these fucking belts are. But let's say he goes and fights Kambosos Jr. and Bill Haney's stupid enough to take the fight with Teofimo. Would that be considered an undisputed match or what? In your book?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. Because
Right.
like right now, like if you want to call TFEMO undisputed, all well and good, that means you recognize the franchise title as an official world title. I don't.
Right.
Right? And most people don't. They
Right.
recognize it as like a mandatory jumper and all that shit, right? So that's my thing. I think he doesn't need to fight Devin because already he's like a 3-belt unified lineal champion. But if he fights Devin, that would be considered undisputed. Yeah.
Right. Right. So, and that was the next fight that I had in mind because it's definitely a possibility. I'm pretty sure he's going to snatch this Kambosos Jr. fight up. I believe they talking January, February, which means he's wide open. because February, that's the beginning of the year. We know Teofimo's going to fight more than once in a year. He already said that himself. So um, that fight could definitely happen. Now, will it? I'm not sure. We have to see what Devin Haney looks like next, right? Because he takes
Yeah.
that fight with the winner of Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. He has a possibility of losing that one. You know what I mean? He definitely has a
Mhm.
possibility of losing that one because both of those guys come over there to Devin Haney and they're gonna already be validated more than him, right? Because Luke Campbell is already, in my opinion, validated himself at the 135 division more than Haney and Ryan Garcia. But if Ryan Garcia should beat Luke Campbell, well, then he surely has a better win and more validated than Devin Haney. So my thing is that either of those guys that come over there to fight him, they're gonna be more validated. Will they be favored? I'm not sure. Luke may not, Devin might. I mean, Ryan might, but I, me personally, I would have both of those guys over him at this point because Santiago and Gamboa is just not enough for me. You know, not enough for me.
Mhm.
Uh, he has that belt, but I don't know. But we could get it. We could get that fight.
Yeah.
This one's going to be predicated, I believe, on the Haney's. Maybe I don't know, but Bob Arum doesn't really sound good for us getting that fight because he's shitting on Devin Haney. He's like, this kid's
He's
got
like,
to do
yo, he
something.
needs to earn this fight and all that
Right,
crap.
right.
AKA, what Bob means is he knows that Devin now has one fight left over with Matchroom, right? This is how Devin earns it. He wins his last fight over with Matchroom, yeah? And then he
Right.
signs a fucking 3-fight deal with Bob Arum. That's how he earns it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's a fact, bro. It's what Crawford needs to do. If he leaves top rank, sign a couple of fight deal, like a 2-fight deal with the PBC. Boom. But Crawford got to, this team's got to get that shit written in. Too much garbage over there, bro. They're gonna have to get it written in, like in their contract agreement or whatever. The Spence fight imminent. Like this is part of the deal, whatever. Like I don't know how they would do it legally, but put that shit in there, right?
Yeah.
If he signed a 2-fight deal with them with the top rank situation, I'm pretty sure Bob will make the fight. They made the fight with Lomachenko and Teofimo. I have more faith that they'll go ahead and make the fight. But with Crawford, he better cross every T and dot every fucking I in that situation.
He better look over that contract 1,000,001 times.
Got that right.
With a really good team of lawyers.
I was just about to say, don't get one opinion, don't get two, get you a team of motherfucking lawyers. I was just about to say that, man. Have them all look at that contract because that would have to be written in with Spence. But back to Teofimo and those guys, yeah, I think that's what Bob was probably alluding to, and I don't think that that's something that Devin Haney and them should dismiss. I mean, fuck, you just partnered up with Eddie Hearn for a few fights. Go ahead and partner up with Top Rank for a few fights. You still have your own deal going. They've already shown that they don't have to directly sign with a guy. They can work out a partnership deal with their own promotional, but they're definitely going to have to do something like that. And I think we can get that fight then. Phil's not worried about fighting Devin Haney. All of this hype around Haney, man, Senior, listen, if this guy is talking Canelo, you gotta know. Fuck that. Let's not even go Canelo. If this guy is talking jumping to 140 and going right to Taylor or Ramirez, you gotta know he ain't standing fighting Devin Haney. He's not even. That's like, okay, if he comes to the table, we'll take him. There's no worries. I don't think there's no worries in Teofimo's mind, and I definitely don't believe there's any
Yeah.
worries in Senior's mind about
Wait,
taking
hold
the
on.
Haney fight.
Hold on. Are you telling me that man said that they'll fight Canelo?
Listen,
Now that's
Teal,
clout chasing, bro. He ain't jumping up
no,
33
no, no,
pounds.
no, no, no. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why he wasn't cloud chasing because he told me this personally. I was talking to him. He said, "Bro, I'm telling you, bro. You think I'm crazy? Everybody thinks I'm crazy. You know I am. We go up there, we take Josh Taylor, we take Ramirez, and we talk Canelo, baby. My boy is big. My boy is big, bro. I'm
Your
telling you.
boy will get fucking killed.
I said, look. I said, see, I said, hold on, Junior. You mean to tell me he fights Canelo? I said, bro, you trying to get my boy hurt, man? He said, look, bro, he got what nobody else got, bro. He's got that thing, bro. I'm talking Canelo, baby. I said, all right, man. So I'm just telling you, that motherfucker's dead serious. He's dead serious
Yo,
about it.
we beat Loma at 135, right? A
Yeah.
relatively small lightweight. Then let's say he beats a big 140 pounder in Taylor, right?
Mhm.
Taylor Canelo, right? Canelo at 154 was a humongous
I
154
know,
pounder in
man.
terms of weight. This is a dude who beat Kovalev at light heavyweight.
Oh, he said 162. Junior said 162. That motherfucker's not playing. Like, you know what I mean? That's a funny guy, bro. I love it. I love it. But
I wonder if Canelo will put a weight clause in.
yeah, right. That was fucking hilarious. Oh, you like that impression, Chico? Chicano? Yeah, I do my thing every now and then. I'm not the greatest at impressions, but no, I love that dude, man. He's always amped up, always excited when I talk to him. But yeah, yeah, dog. That Devin Haney situation that could happen, and I guess again, and I'm with Mark on this. If you look at him as four belt undisputed, so be it. But that definitely would solidify it. That would definitely solidify it, and then you could, whether Haney wins or Teofimo wins, you could definitely say we got a four belt undisputed champion at 135. And
Yeah.
so that one could really happen. More boxing. What's good with you? What's up, Pete? Um. So okay. Uh. Next on the list, you know where I'm going with this. I think you should know where I'm going with this. Joshua and Fury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joshua and Fury. Now, is this the one that you think is least? Because you say you didn't agree with Spence and Crawford.
Mm,
Is it this one?
no. It
Oh,
was
good.
like it's a different division. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, cool, cool. Well then let's go with this one, Joshua Fury. Um, very possible, no, because they were already
Very
in talk.
possible. I mean, there's only two champions. I mean, Joshua's getting his IBF mandatory out of the way, right? Then it looks like the Usyk fight will be in April. That's what they're looking at, I think.
Right.
Which is Joshua's mandatory is cleaned up, right? Fury, maybe he has to fight Povetkin or White. Maybe he does, but if he does, that'll be at the end of next year because of what happened, with the mandatory resetting. So he doesn't have a mandatory until, well, if they fight in January, it won't be until January 2022. Then you look at what else is there? The possible Wilder fight, the mediation, but looks like Wilder's looking elsewhere. So we could have Joshua versus Fury in the summer. Realistically, we could.
They could, and then even if they do have that other fight, it could still be late 2021. You can still get the first, but they're
September.
talking about a 2 fight deal. So I would imagine it's a rematch either way, no matter who wins that. Gonna get back.
Yeah.
Monty Brown, what's good with you, brother?
Can you hear me, D? What's going down, fam?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. You can hear him, Mark.
Yeah, I can hear.
Bro, we just talking about four belt undisputed matches, Monty. We already been through some of them. We could touch on them again, but I was talking about the potential four belt undisputed matches 2021 that we could get. Jose Yepes, what's up, brother? Box fans, what's good? Prime fighting champion. So we talked about it was another one too, Mark, that I hadn't talked about yet. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we talked about Monster Inoue and Donaire and those guys possibly getting it four belt undisputed. Then Monty, we talked about Teofimo Lopez. Well, we said Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, of course, but we done all talked about that one enough.
Right.
And then it was Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney because regardless of how people look at it, fan, I'm a Teofimo fan, but here's the
Right.
situation. Motherfucker can look at it as he four belt, or you can look at it as he's not for a belt. It don't matter. If those two fight, it'll be no fucking question. So that would have to
Exactly.
be considered a 4 belt undisputed match as well, right? And then we just moved on to, we talked about Joe Smith potentially beating Rodriguez, going over there getting with Beterbiev. And if Joe Smith should win against Beterbiev, hell, him and Dimitri Bivol getting it down ring. Because ain't neither one of them worried about ducking no smoke. You feel me?
Right.
Real
So
quick, real quick though,
go
it's
ahead,
if
go ahead.
It's if Joe Smith beats Vlasov for the vacant
Yeah,
WBO first,
Vlasov. That's
not
right.
Rodriguez. That's the
That's right.
bantamweight division.
Right. Yeah, we throwing so many names around here. I
But
got big stuff.
y'all didn't talk about the one that we know that's gonna happen though.
Which one? Well, we
Uh,
probably didn't get there. We might.
We'll
okay.
get to that last. The one we all know that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
if
I
I
think
think y'all
we're
know.
scaling up.
Yeah.
yeah, we kind of going up. We kind of going
All right.
uphill, money. You know what I mean?
I
I think
got you. I got you.
that's probably the one I'm gonna head on to next. Uh,
Okay.
and then you just walked in on Joshua Fury, so you can speak on whatever one you want. I'll just kind of catch you up to speed, fam.
Okay. With the Inoue, man, I want to see Inoue become undisputed. That's like my guy right there. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
besides Spence, bro. Like, and I like everybody else, but Inoue, like when I'm talking about that I'm looking forward to seeing, dog. Man, that boy's a Japanese warrior, bro.
That
Like
dude's a
Inoue,
beast, dog.
man, and
But they
that's why.
freezing them out, man.
Yeah, I be hating though when cats, and I don't care who you is, where you from, what side of town, this BC, that BC, that. I hate when cats try not to give him his credit, bro. I hate when
Yeah,
cats try not to give him his credit, bro, because that dude puts in the work. And then and knew he winning on, bro. You know how people be like, oh, when people get like, for instance, the ball, he had a broken eye socket, he didn't continue. Kell Brook had a broken eye socket, he didn't continue. Like when people get broken eye socket, they don't
Jamel
take no
Herring.
for. Jamel Hearn, yeah, that man had a broken eye socket and a broken jaw. And that man still went to war. That man still didn't take no for an answer. And besides Spence and Porter, because I did get him fight of the year, I wouldn't have been mad if Nonito and Inoue would have got fight of the year, bro. I keep trying to say people go back and
Yeah,
watch that
yeah.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I got it's a couple of more too on that line because that Juan Francisco and
uh,
Chocolatito fight on that very night, those two
uh-huh.
fights, those fucking fights was banger. And then of course Baranchik and Cepeda. But that's
That's a
another live.
different year. That's a different
Yeah,
year,
that's a
D.
different year, D.
Oh
That's
shit, it damn
that was
sure is. It damn
yeah,
sure is. But
but
I definitely I'm with you there though. But I was gonna do a live on that too, fight of the year. But yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
I love to see him become undisputed. With Bevo, I want it to be Bevo and Better Beef. That's how I want it to be. That's how I want to see fight for undisputed. I feel
But
like that's the fight at 175.
yeah, for
Well, the
sure.
way that can happen, right, next
Uh-huh.
year, right? So is Joe Smith's fighting Vlasov for the vacant WBO in February, right? And Beterbiev has his mandatory with Fang Long Men. If he
Uh-huh.
beats Meng in March, right, and then him and Joe Smith Jr. they fight in August because that's Bob Arum. We all know he'll do an in-house 3 belt unification. That's easy work for him, right? So
Uh-huh.
he'll get them two to fight each other, and we know Joe Smith will take the damn fight. So he can get the 3 belt unification on the way, and then the winner of that could fight Bivol possibly in Russia in December because they were looking at doing the Bivol Beterbiev fight this year in August in Russia, and like they had a deal, everything was in place, but like from the February, then the Rona hit, and they left it, and they left it, and they left it, and then like it was like nothing's happening, right? And they ended up pushing everything way back. So they were hoping to try and get that shit out of the way in late 2021. So that's a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I want to see that happen. And I know Better Beef got all the power in the world, and believe me, he got some boxing skills as well. I don't know why I still feel like Duvall gonna become like he gonna win. I just feel it, right? I
Yeah,
just
damn
feel it.
right. That motherfucker's
Yeah,
a beast, dog.
yeah, bro. And I ain't saying Better Beef can't go in there and knock his ass out because he proved it. But I'm gonna stick to my guns. You know I don't switch up. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
still ride with Bivol on that one. I think Bivol go beat Baturbia. You know I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know.
Dog, I told you we agree on a lot, fam. I told you that
Yeah,
shit because I got beef on that shit all day
yeah,
long, dog.
yeah.
All day long.
And I ain't saying it's gonna be easy because you got to figure out how to take that damn power. But I feel like that dude is the real deal, bro. I feel
Yeah.
like he like when you come out calling that Andre Ward saying you want war, even though Ward was looking at his ass like, okay, we can make it happen. But when you come out and you gunning for Andre Ward, you a bad boy, dog.
He
You're a
got in
bad
for
boy.
Canelo. He got in for everybody, bro. He don't know. He want all the smoke, Dimitri Bivol. But
And
go
look,
ahead, moving on. I'm gonna let you keep rocking, money.
all right, that was two. Then what's up? I know you said Joshua and Fury. I'll talk about that. If that one comes to fruition, Joshua, well, I ain't gonna even go on the other deep end. But if somehow Fury can get the Wilder rematch, the third fight, and somehow he win, then I won't mind saying it. But if somehow they still make it happen, I'm still gonna tune in because it's still a big ass fight, right? Still a big fight, Joshua and Fury. As good as Fury is on his feet, as good as he is on his feet, I feel like Joshua gonna beat him, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
in the inside, what's the and but if Fury get him past 6, 7, 8, we know it's gonna be a problem. But Joshua, the type of fighter you gotta force him to fight to gas him out. So if you let him stay like stay in a certain pace where he can get to the second half of the fight and he good, then it's gonna be
yeah,
a problem for Fury because Joshua is the stronger fighter. Joshua is the more precise, the more um he's the better puncher, the more he got better precision than Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, what people like to talk about Anthony Joshua, he got some dog in him as well, dog. He got some
yeah,
dog
yeah.
in
He
him.
do, he do.
Yeah. Once he get down to banging it out in the inside, so I feel like in that fight, and I ain't saying Fury can't win or nothing like that, because all these good ass fights, that's why it's undisputed and it's the best of the best. But I feel like Joshua got good body work, and I feel like with something like that, I feel like he'd want it more. And a lot of people like to say this, that, and the third about Joshua. Oh, he gave up against Andy Ruiz, this, that, and that. I'm a big fan of both of the dudes, even though I
Right.
talk my shit about Fury. But I feel like Joshua is the better fighter.
Yeah, yeah,
Fury might be the better boxer, but I feel like Joshua is the better fighter.
yeah,
And
yeah.
in that fight, I feel like a fight will break out soon, and I think Joshua will knock him out. I think
Yeah,
Joshua gonna knock
and
him
I
out.
don't mind that, bro. Like people that pick Joshua over Fury, or like people that pick Spence over Crawford. Like I don't mind that. I mean, Crawford over
Crawford
Spence.
over Spence. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind y'all picking them over because I believe that those guys can beat my guys too. Like I believe Joshua could beat my dude Fury. I believe Crawford could beat my dude Spence. I ain't
Right.
picking them motherfuckers, but I believe
Right.
it can happen though. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's how I
So
be. They just being the real. It's not just coming up here trying to say, "Oh well, man, he go like when Casby, man, he go smoke him." Like one cat
yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
somebody say, "Well, when I said smoke him, I don't mean that." That I say, "Nah, man, you gotta understand when you say the word smoke. Smoke mean you smoked them and whooped them.
it's a one
Uh,
sided fight.
yeah,
If
it's a
you
one
say he
sided
gonna
fight.
smoke him, it's
Yeah,
a one sided fight. Whether he knock him out, whether he beat him
right.
9 rounds to 3, that's what you
Right,
mean when
that's a
you say
smoke.
smoke.
Yeah, that's a smoke. And they know what they be saying D until you check. They this not just say it's gonna be a competitive fight, man, and you think your guy gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? If you got your
Right.
reasons why, say your reasons why. Like if I say somebody gonna beat somebody, I'm gonna tell you my reasons why, but I ain't gonna turn around and say, oh, this man don't stand a chance. Like Crawford, like yesterday, dude, I said Crawford and Errol. It's a 50-50 fight to me. Of course Bud can win that fight. But I
Right,
got
right.
Errol and I got my reasons. So with that, so with Fury and Joshua, I just feel like Joshua he go force a fight. I feel like he can knock him out.
Hey,
Okay, but
hey, buddy, your mic fucking
hey,
up, fam.
let me come back on my computer, dude. Just a
All
second.
right, yeah, just jump out and come back in. So yeah, no doubt. All right, so D style Pete, Uncle Pete. I tell you, we just talking for about undisputed matches. It's a couple we didn't get to as I'm going through this because I got them on my list. I was just looking at my title and everything, and there's two of them that we ain't talked about yet. But anyway, we're talking about 4 belt undisputed matches in 2021. Ones we could potentially get. We already covered Inoue and that situation down there. Errol Spence, Teofimo Lopez,
Of
and
course.
Devin Haney, and then we're up to. Oh, we talked about Bivol and those guys at 175. That could potentially happen. And now we're up to Tyson Fury and Joshua. So we talked about Spence and Crawford too, but we still got a couple of more divisions to go through because we could potentially get those. We might have some that I don't know about, but I do have two that I was going to talk about that we haven't gotten to today if you didn't hear it yet. But I'm kind of going up, scaling up from here. Ones that least potential to happen to most potential to happen. So we landed at Fury Joshua. That's where we
Nice.
at right now. So tune in, chime in what your thoughts are. I mean, I don't want to, you know, sit here and talk too much. I've been talking enough. But what you think about it, Pete? Or about at least those matches. Don't move ahead because I know that there's two that I didn't mention yet. That, like I said, we're scaling up here.
Well, I am a scale bender, so of course it is
Yeah.
only
Oh
right that
my God. Here
I
we
like
go.
to step in when we get to the heavyweights. But I'm fat as fuck right now too. 93, 293, man. That's too much.
God
But
damn.
I
Eating
go
good,
from
ain't
40 to 90 to 40 to 90, 40, 90, 40, 90. It's ridiculous, man.
you got to get off the Andy Ruiz diet. And
I know, but I'm
you
saying
can get
it's
down.
not always like that. It's just like it's like a seasonal rotation, like a wave. Up 40,
Now, I
240,
want to tell
290.
y'all something. Let me say this real quick. I just took some real powerful drugs before I started this. So if you want to make me laugh now, because in about an hour, that shit's going to be worn off, and I can't be laughing. So,
Pete out here
Fuck around,
getting
Tom.
ready for hibernation, man.
man, that damn, those drugs, I took a good pill before this one.
The fuck we talking about for 7 hours yesterday, man? You guys were all over it yesterday. Well,
Well,
anyway, what's up, Marcus, Migsy boy? What's up? And D style, what's going on? Yeah, the undisputed thing, man. Is there really that many possibilities for this coming up year?
yes,
God
yes.
damn.
And we still got two more to go. So I'll just do it like this so that you don't get lost in the sauce. The first one we talked about was
I heard you.
Donaire.
You told me that already. Kick back and take your IV. I heard you
All right,
already. You
well
already
go
told me.
ahead.
The thing is, I just say in general, like I just noticed that. Well, not that I noticed, but if you think about it, I don't think these sanctioning bodies like the idea of having somebody be undisputed. We love it and they hate it, which is kind of a weird scenario. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that the other day. It's kind of funky. As soon as they do, well, anyway, the business of it is that they just don't. They do everything they can to get their guy off of the other one's list, and that's why you get the top 10. The bottom of the back half of the top 10 for each one of these sanctioning bodies looking so fucking wacky because if somebody's got a belt in another sanctioning body, you got to eliminate them off of your list. You know, it's kind of funky like that. But listen, I'm looking forward to the fight, the heavyweight fight that we're talking about. I like to see that shit happen. I could give a shit about Tio Fimo and his not email belt, but the one that Suleiman drove around. He's got him in the trunk of his car. He's got a bunch of belts back there.
All right, make sure you put that belt in the right trunk though. That's Devin Haney, okay? Not in
Yeah,
TF
right. He
trunk.
gave me one. I mean, Suleiman gave me one.
Put that belt in the right trunk, man. Don't be talking
Suleiman gave
about
me
my boy
one
Tio.
time at the airport. He just gave me a belt, you know. But I'm just hoping we get back on the schedule with the boxing. That's the second half of this year's.
So what do you think the probability, since the one you're interested in most at this point is the heavyweight, what do you believe the probability of that happening is? Do you think we get that fight or
Yeah, it's 100% their next fights. It's 100% what needs to happen next for their career. You know, like, yeah, I know I got in late yesterday. We're talking about that, the Wilder and the Fury situation. But like, look, man, I'm not a huge fan of Fury or Wilder, to be honest. I mean, I kind of like have been partial to AJ for a long time now in terms of the heavyweight. So, like, look, you're not gonna have Fury go back and risk getting caught with a shot by Wilder, all right, in a third fight, which could happen totally, completely. Before he gets this fight with AJ, it's going to be a gigantic fucking fight, money-wise, huge. The only thing that's holding it up, really, is the goddamn live gate. You know what I'm saying? We either got to get some oil sheiks in here with a big site fee, or that O2 Arena, or whatever that big motherfucker is in the UK. I mean, it's going to have to be... I can't believe that AJ's even fighting Pulev. I'll be honest with you.
he has to? Pete, it's a mandatory, man.
I know, but everybody's a mandatory and everybody's a mandatory. But a mandatory means you get your fight or you get paid to step aside. And the bigger the purse that you're stepping aside for, the more you're going to get paid to step aside. You follow me? So
Pulev ain't want no step aside money. He wanted Anthony.
what if it was 50 million? What if it was 50 million? Okay, so don't talk like that then. Of course, I know he doesn't listen. I know he doesn't want step. I know he wants the fight. I know he wants the fight, but don't say it like that because you don't know what the fee would be.
Man, Pete, stop it, bro.
I'm not saying it's 50 million. Listen, I'm not saying it's 50 million.
Okay,
I'm not
Pete,
saying it's 50 million, but don't get
Pete,
wrapped up in this shit, man. Because
Pete. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Step aside money is going to be a mere pittance of what the fight purse is going to be. That's all I'm saying. So I
so
don't know what the exact numbers are, but it's a mere pittance of what you're going to get if you fight the damn guy. And so
no,
he
it's not.
ain't turning down that bread, dog.
What do you
Also,
think?
real
What do
quick,
you think the person?
real quick, Pete. Who's Pulev's promoter?
Right,
I don't. I can't hear you.
Bob. Bob
Yeah.
Arum is Pulev's promoter, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bob wants an opportunity to possibly get those titles so he could have it all in house.
And you think Bob wants a 10% cut of a fucking step aside or a goddamn fight? Or do they even get
No,
a
he's a
cut of step
promoter. He's not
aside
going to
money?
get. Yeah, exactly. There
Right.
probably is some
So,
kind of a distribution.
yeah,
But
so
look,
he gets nothing out of that, bro. No fucking way.
you don't
Step
know. Wait,
aside,
hold on
step
now. Hang on now.
aside.
Just hold on now. Hang on now. It's a mere pittance of the purse. It's not necessarily true. The step aside fee for Pulev to step aside for AJ and Fury, he could demand a tremendous amount of fucking money to let that fight happen. If let's just say there was wide open live gate, we're wide open. Well, Pulev could say, "Yeah, I want the fight. I don't want step aside money." And they'll go, "Well, hold on now. We got the Saudis coming to the table with 50 million for a fight purse here." That's been in the media. We all know that. Pulev knows that. Bob Arum knows that. So, like, okay, if you want Pulev to step aside, he wants the fight. He's entitled to it. How much are you going to pay me to step aside? Shit, he'll make more stepping aside, 10 times more stepping aside for that fight than he would is going to be his purse with the actual AJ fight. Don't you agree? Of course. Am I right or am I right?
No, I don't. You're right. You're right that that amount of money is going to be there, but I don't agree that any of these greedy motherfuckers will give it up on either side. So, like, okay, here's where I'm going with this, Pete.
Greed's the reason they would take
I
it.
know.
Is what I'm saying.
Hold on. Here's where I'm going with this. With the top rank side, again, we just talked about it. Bob ain't getting his grubby hands on none of that money when we talk step aside. But on the Joshua side of things, like, it's easier for us to say, yeah, just give them this amount of money. But bro, they're not trying to just toss around millions just because they got an extra bank. Like, they got an extra bank from the Saudis. They're going to try to keep more of that money in their pocket.
That's
So
the
I
job.
know that the money is there to offer a lot, but I don't think step aside money, even in that scenario, is going to still be anywhere close to the purse because they're not just trying to toss off this this is millions of dollars we're talking about here. And
Yeah,
every
but
million they toss off, it's fuck $100,000 out of their fucking cut. Nah,
yeah, but
bro.
D, you're
Like,
saying compared to the do you mean the main purse or do you mean? Of course, it's not going to be anything. The fee's not going to be comparable to the fight you're stepping aside for. Of course not. But when
no,
you
I'm
have
talking about Pulev's purse with Joshua.
it'll
Pulev's
dwarf it.
purse with Joshua.
It would
Okay,
dwarf
if
it.
he fights him
It would
versus
dwarf.
a step aside, even if Saudis, even if to all this extra money feed. What I'm saying is the suits, the guys Eddie and these suits, they're gonna try to keep more of that money in their pocket. They're not
I
just
know
trying
they're
to
going to
be
try
pumping
to.
off
D.
$millions
Okay.
to Pulev.
Okay. I know they're going to try to. You're right. That's their job to try to. Right. They're trying to. Their responsibility is the show. So they're going to try to pay as little as possible and make as much as possible. But look, they're not going to afford. What do you think? Just a round number. What kind of revenue would that pull in over there in the UK? Like Mark knows this. Like what? I mean, this is a
You
gigantic
better
fight,
ask
right?
them because I don't have a clue.
A fucking huge fight,
I've
right?
absolutely no clue in the case of a pandemic.
No. I mean,
No
we're
idea.
not talking pandemic because the reason I think Pulev is even happening is honestly is because we can't get a live gate, but not a pandemic. I'm saying live gate. That's
Right.
a gigantic fight over there. Am I right? I mean,
there's more money for it in Saudi Arabia, as much as that might piss people off. But at Wembley, 80,000 live gate doesn't compare to a $75 million site fee.
yeah, and you know what? It makes sense to do it in Saudi if they're going to bring a site fee because look, it still gives the UK fans a pay-per-view time slot, which is reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not 1 a.m, but what is it? It was 5 hours back, right? 4 hours back.
Actually, no, I was watching that. It's pretty much the same time because Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz fought at 10 p.m. UK time. That fight was over by 20 past 10.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's fucking. They're gonna kill it. I mean, they'll kill it. You know what I mean? Like they'll kill the pay-per-views. So anyway, the point being,
Yeah, that's beautiful for fans that's not UK fans.
That's
You see, it's
beautiful.
good for people if they want to be able to watch like on pay-per-view, but fans who actually want to go to that fight, it's not beautiful.
All right, for
Yeah,
UK fans, they deserve that fucking fight to be in the UK. Like, come on, bro.
yeah, they do. But look, it is down to business. So it's like, look, the live gate probably doesn't compare to the pay per view revenue it's going to generate. But look, the point being, D, when it's that big of a fight, money. I'm just going to put a number on. I'm just going to say the number of 100 million. I don't know. That's just the number we're going to use it. Well, when it's out there like that, their site fee, they're building you a stadium, the whole 9 yards, right? Well, fuck. The guy who's the mandatory understands that too. It's out there. So he can bust balls and demand a purse 10 times what he's going to make fighting AJ. Pulev could get paid to step aside. I'm going to say 10 times. That's just him.
So 74 million pounds?
No. Whatever Pulev would be making in this fight with AJ, whatever he
7.5 million times 10 is 74 million.
He's making 7.5 million. So you said they're gonna give us. This is what I'm telling you, Pete. They're not gonna be tossing around these millions. For them to even top, you mean to tell me, Pete, you think they're gonna pay this man more than $7 million step aside money? And this
they're gonna make 10 times the money. They're gonna make 10 times the money fighting fucking Fury.
I know they will.
The fight's about to happen, though. It's not like they're gonna step aside right now.
Yeah, bro. And that's another thing, Pete.
D-Style, you're right. There's no live gate. Of course, there's not.
That's scenario. I think even in a live gate scenario, Pete, you gotta understand something. In a live gate scenario, Pulev would probably be getting more money. They're probably only paying him 7.5 because there's no live gate. So you're gonna have to bump his purse up. You can't just say, okay, because of the live gate, but then act like he's gonna be accepting the same amount when there is a live gate. This means that his purse would be more, and then they would have to top that. Bro, they're not gonna be tossing out these fucking millions of dollars. Like, I don't even think that they would pay him 7.5 million with a fucking live gate. Me personally. I mean, they might, but I don't
have no idea what he's making.
7.5 with a live gate, but if it was a live gate, Kulev's purse would be more, so they would have to pay him even more than that. And like, nah, bro. Nah.
Yeah, I got no idea what Pulev's making. All right,
Marcus told you 7.5.
I know. No. In other words, I have no idea how it came about. I'm just telling you that they're not going to be throwing around the millions. That's true. They're not going to be wasting it, but they're going to make as much money as they can, correct? Don't you think they make more money in the Fury AJ fight and avoid the risk of AJ getting possibly clipped?
Looks like, by the way, I was way off because Eddie Hearn said Eddie Hearn said that Pulev's going to be making more than £7 million less than 8, so I thought it was 7.5. But according to the Telegraph, Joshua's only getting 10 million. He's taking a big pay cut on this, and Pulev's only getting £3 million because there's no live gates.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. It's an adjustment. Anyway.
But that's because there's no live gates. But even still, bro, whatever the purses are, there would be more with live gates if it was a live gate situation. I don't know, man. I'm just not accustomed to seeing step aside more than purses. I don't know. Maybe
it ain't gonna happen either way.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing is if that thing was going to happen, then of course we wouldn't be talking about fucking Pulev right? So
my bad.
Anyway, but
if who lived out of the fight, but look, first of all, thanks for having me on. Shout out to the panel. Check it out. So let's talk heavyweight undisputed. First of all, we've been so close. This is the one division that has teased the shit out of us with undisputed for years now.
21 years.
Yeah.
Here you go. No. Psych. Every single time. Ever since Lennox Lewis got, at the time, it usually needed the 3 belts. He didn't want to fight John Ruiz. He wanted, bigger fights, bigger names. He wanted to fight, he felt like he'd done enough in the sport. And if it wasn't a big money fight, he didn't want it. He didn't feel John Ruiz was that. John Ruiz, of course, ended up, getting the WBA strap, which Roy Jones beat him for. Now, Roy Jones was not going to fight Lennox Lewis. We all know that. He ended up going back down in weight. The WBA kind of went a separate way for a while. Eventually, the Klitschko brothers, as we all know, right, became the kings of the division, especially when Vitaly came back. Look, that's the one time I have no beef. I do not expect 2 blood brothers literally to fight each other for our entertainments. Even me as a boxing fan, a lot of boxing fans disagree with me, but I did not expect the 2 brothers to fight.
I agree.
Now, as far as that goes, once Vitaly retired, though, look, Stavern got the belt, and then of course Wilder beats Stavern for the belt, and we never got any unification there. Fury defeats Vladimir. We all know the story with that. Yada yada yada. Eventually, we got AJ Parker, Wilder with belts. AJ did unify with Parker. Right, so credit to him for doing that. But then the Wilder AJ saga, which me personally, I think both sides were in the wrong in some instances. And recent evidence, even I have to come out and say, you know what, Wilder, hey, man, you came out, you yourself admitted that AJ offered you more money. You were going to make more money fighting AJ than you made fighting Fury. I know he made it to make another point, but sometimes you do reveal yourself, and I have to go by the evidence set in front of me. So I got to say, yeah, I was wrong in that case, and I don't have a problem saying that. Okay, you were offered more money for that fight, but all that aside, now here we are. Fury has a belt, AJ has a belt. I got to be honest. If somebody put it in front of me and said, would you rather see the third fight with Wilder next, or AJ versus Fury? Because let's be real, AJ's going to beat Pulev. All right, I'll be completely shocked, and I'll eat my words if that doesn't happen. But I would take the Undisputed any day. We've been teased time after time after time, and it is time for heavyweight to produce an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It's been way too damn long. We haven't seen it in the 4-belt era, so it's time to get those belts together. This thing is like the end game. You know what I mean? Like Thanos. You got to collect all the stones, all the belts, and hey, I think it's that.
So what's the probability? You think it's a good probability of us getting that? 2021 now.
Man, you know what? One, if Pulev wins, that's gonna happen ASAP. Okay, like they'll make that fight so fast with Fury and Pulev. Okay, but that's not gonna happen. So that aside, I do believe that there's too much money in the UK, especially too much money to be made with a Fury versus Joshua fight for that fight not to happen. Okay,
yeah, right.
Period.
Can I say one thing though, just real quick?
Sure.
Is there a strong possibility though that they push for that fight to happen next, that the WBO belt will go vacant if Joshua doesn't fight Usyk first?
Yeah, that is a possibility, fam.
Well, I didn't take into account, what the sanctioning bodies could do, but obviously, yes, that is, of course. But they do make the rules up as they go. So why wouldn't they want a piece of that pie, though? Like if you're any sanctioning body, right? There's a reason they never threatened to strip. Like the WBA hasn't been pressuring Manny Pacquiao to make a move ASAP because they already know they're going to get a piece of that pie. WBC never really pressured, Mayweather or De La Hoya, to do something or else, we're going to strip you. They only enforce the rules when they want to. So while that is a possibility, and it wouldn't shock me if they did, because nothing that the sanctioning bodies ever do ever shocks me. But I don't think they will. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they'll keep the belts intact. Klitschko was able to keep his belts intact, although he did fight his mandatories often. I'm talking about Vladimir and Vitaly as well. But at the end of the day, is it possible to answer your question, D? What's the probability? I'll give it about a 60% probability. Where's that number from? It's out of my ass, but a little over 50% chance that we'll get it, because one, I don't know what the whole litigation shit's gonna lead to. I don't even know if, man, look, let me tell you something. Fury and Wilder could be behind the scenes, like talking about pumping this shit up WWE style to make this Glovegate thing, a thing to help sell the third fight. Because otherwise, there's not a lot of interest for the third fight. You know what I mean? You have to sell it with something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's a possibility. But as far as the, we still got to see Wilder Fury. But the truth is, let's say they do fight. Hey, the winner should fight AJ, in my opinion. You've already fought 3 times. The winner fight AJ. And that's it. You know what I mean? I think that's the way it should go. But I'll give it about a 60% chance we have an undisputed heavyweight champ. That's probably me being too optimistic, but I'll try to be a little optimistic.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Mark, I dropped you a private message. All right, so look, I'm just gonna move on since D-Style wanted to jump with that. Let's move on. Look, guys, now both of these two next fights, these two next potential divisions, think with me, I can't really say which one I think is more probable because I think both of them, the probability is high of us getting them. This is why I kind of saved these two for last. So I'm just gonna start with Jamel at 154. I think there's a damn good chance we get this in 2021 because first and foremost, I believe that Brian Castano is going to beat Patrick Teixeira. Okay, I believe he'll beat him. And then now we talking all in-house PBC. Jamel got a clean line to that belt because Castano was over there with the PBC, if I'm not mistaken. And he gets a hold of that belt. Boom, that's a Jamel shot right there. So, and Jamel, 4-belt undisputed, because that's my motherfucking dude. He's one of my top 5 guys, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Jamel takes that. I don't see it. Look, even if for some reason Patrick Teixeira won and they made that fight happen, I don't see Brian Castano nor Patrick Teixeira beating Jamel Charlo. I'll tell you that right now. So I think we get 4-belt undisputed at 154. I think Jamel Charlo is the one that will come out victorious, but this my line of thinking is that Castano is a little stronger than Teixeira, and he takes that fight, and then now it's all in-house over at the PBC. So, Pete, I know you don't care, but what you think, man? What you think? 4-belt undisputed 154. Mark, catch that question in the private chat, man. Go ahead.
I'd
Pete.
love to see it, but I guess this more goes back to the reluctance of the difficulty to get all 4 of these belts and all 4 of these sanctioning bodies to cooperate. They'll do it for that heavyweight fight, though. They'll all want to be on that stage, on that, Now right after the fight's over, they're going to go to stripping as fast as they can and forcing they want to get them separated right after that. But for the night, yeah, they want to be all together. And hey, Usyk can make again, I hate to keep harping on it, but WBO make that happen. Usyk can get taken care of to let that fight happen too. So anyway, as far as Jamel goes, where are those belts at right now, though? I think that might be a situation where
Jamel got 3. I just laid it down for you, Pete.
Well, what you get? Wait,
okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Not the whole thing. What belt's
you.
outstanding? WBO. What's the outside belt? WBO.
Yeah, it's the BO, right, Mark? Oh, D-Style?
Yeah.
What's the BO?
Yeah.
What, Teixeira's got the WBO.
Yeah, it's the WBO. Hey, D-Style, you see that? He said technically you can if it's from AJ Channel. It's from fucking BT Sports or whatever. What the fuck?
Yeah, you might be
from
Sky
Sports.
You're at the mercy of BT Sport at that point. It's what
I mean Sky Sports.
You're at the mercy of Sky Sports.
Oh, Sky's even worse.
Yeah. Fuck that. All right,
don't bother with Sky.
No, I'm not bothering with it at all. So I was just going to show it while we was talking.
If you can find the same workout, though, D. If you can find the same workout on like his Instagram page or on a Twitter page.
So I don't know if one of y'all can't put it in
you
the
guys talk.
chat.
You guys talk. Let me see if I can find it. You guys talk, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, you got
cool.
Well, how you do that, D? Is you just got to find not the big guys things. Just find somebody that start with they shit. Like for me, either if it's Fight Hub or someone of that nature. Like you probably can find Michelle Joy Phelps or Radio Raheem. You probably can find one of their little situations being at the workout, and you can show that for as it being the big TV networks.
Yeah.
Seconds Out will copyright you. I'll say that right now. Seconds Out will copyright you.
This, if one of y'all find it on a safe site, just put it in the damn thing. I'll put it up. Other than that, fuck it. But Monty, what do you think? 54. What do you think? Mel Charlo and shit.
I agree with everything you just said. I feel like Brian Castano go beat Teixeira because Bronco plus to beat him. You know what I mean? And that credit to him. Dr. Mount ain't taking his credit away from him. But I think Brian Castano gonna knock him out. And I feel like Brian Castano will face Jamel Charlo because he ain't gonna pass up on that big payday and knowing that's his big opportunity. I mean, if you'll fight Laurie, you'll fight Charlo.
Huge
Yeah.
opportunity. Huge
Yeah.
opportunity.
Right. So you want to play with one belt and get a small payday. I ain't gonna say a small payday, but you want to pay with that belt, knowing it's gonna be maybe a 6-figure payday, or you want to get you a 7-figure payday. That means so I feel like he will go in there. I feel like they will make it happen. You know, Jamel ain't ducking nothing. He want all the smoke. Both Cholos want all the smoke. So if he sit up there and they present the opportunity, and Jamel see that it's another huge opportunity, knowing that he can go on pay-per-view again, I feel like Jamel going there and he fight Castano, and Castano will give him a hell of a fight. But I feel like Mel do come out on top and become undisputed. You know what I mean? Become undisputed.
Right.
I like that fight a lot, bro.
And Jamel want all the smoke too, fam. Because when he beat Tony Harrison, let me tell you something. My nigga Jamel Charlo want all the smoke. When he beat Tony Harrison, he said, I don't give a fuck. He said, I want Rosario next. I want Laura. I want Jarrett Hurd. Look, that motherfucker called out all the good names, and he meant that shit, fam. Jamel want all the smoke, dog.
Yeah.
All of it.
That's big dog shit right there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, Mark, Unrivaled, what do you think, man? 154 probability fight winner.
I think it's the second most likely in boxing to happen next year.
Yeah, fam. See you where I'm at. Yep. Yep. I think so. I really do. I
Really
think
high probability. I think Teixeira's a good fighter. I'll disrespect the man, but I think Castano's got to beat the shit out of him. He's not like Adamez where he gasses or anything like that. He's not chinny. He's powerful. He's good to the body. He's got high work rate. He'll outwork Teixeira. He'll outbox him. He'll outslick him. Too many gears. And then it'll be between him and Jamel, all in-house PBC. Another opportunity at pay-per-view and Undisputed at 154. Been a long time since we've had an Undisputed at 154. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Never been with a. Has there been a form Undisputed? I don't think there has.
I don't think. Did Hagler go? No, he was 160.
He was 160, bro.
Yeah, he was 160. No, I don't know.
I don't think we've ever had a 154 Undisputed 4 belt.
Well, we're gonna have one now.
You guys
And
want to
his
watch
name
this?
gonna be Jamel fucking Charlo.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. You want to watch this or what?
Put it in the private chat, or you put it on your computer. Are you on your computer or your phone, Pete?
Hang on one second, my man.
Or just put the link in the private chat. I'll put it up on this one. But Brian Harkin, what's up, brother? We talking 4-belt undisputed matches. We went over a lot. I ain't gonna drag you back through that. But right now we're up to Jamel Charlo, possibly the winner of Castaño and Teixeira, and the probability of us getting this 4-belt match at 2021. What you think, Mr. Harkin? Come off mute, Brian. Come off mute, damn it.
Oh, sorry. Yo,
There you go.
can you hear me? Yeah. I would like to see Jamel versus what's his name?
Castaño or Teixeira?
Castaño.
Yeah.
I forgot his name for a second. Yeah. I think that's the better fight. Castaño work rate would give Jamel problems. I think that's a good fight. I think that's likely to happen with maybe not next year, within the next 2 years.
Oh, nah. See, Brian, let me catch you up to speed. I don't know if you can see the screen, but let me tell you where we at today. What we talking about. Now, this title is 4-belt undisputed in 2021. And we're going up the line. We already covered a lot. We was going from the lower probability to the higher, which, you know what I mean? So now, Brian, you kind of a man outside of the line of thinking here. I'll tell you this, because probability-wise, we think that this one is a high probability of happening in 2021. That 2022 shit, that was earlier on in the live.
Okay. I'm up to date now. I'm up to date now. There is a high possibility of it happening. I don't see any problems why it shouldn't happen.
Right.
I would like to see. I would like to see it because Era and Jamel. That's a good fight. Give me that.
Between the three
Yeah,
guys, who you think got the best chance to take it all? Textiera, Castano, or Jamel?
Jamel. I think Jamel would beat.
Yeah, right.
I think Jamel would beat Castagna. I think he'd beat Teixeira. I just think he beats both. I think he beats both of them guys.
I agree. And I think Patrick Texiera is the weaker of the three guys too. Real quick, Aob's in the building. What's good? What's good? Ariels, what's good with your Ariels? Blood boxing, what's up, Blood? What's up with your brother? Junior in the building, what's good? Blood, you can come holler at us if you want to, fam. Anybody who drop the link in the chat again. But all right. So
Salute to my big brother Blood. What's going down, Blood?
no doubt, no doubt. So all right. So let's move on to the next one because I think we all agree, because I ain't mentioned it yet, but Josh Taylor and fucking Jose Ramirez. And I'm stoked about seeing this fight too, bro. I like Josh in this fight, but I think either guy can get it done. I just like Josh in this fight. I think he'll win it. Look, man, I don't think it's no reason why we should get this fight next year. It's all up under Bob, right? That's all over. It's already in house, and they only got one step in between them. So I'm looking at this fight in the summertime. You know what I mean? At latest, fucking September. But I think this one's a definite a shoe in. Like that's why I got this last, because I think this has the highest probability of happening. I definitely want to see this motherfucker. I like Josh Taylor, man. Look, Regis Prograis is my dude. And when they battle, I think that fight warrants a rematch too, because I still say Regis can get that nigga back. But look, that was a good fucking fight. Josh showed his fucking ass in that fight. I became a fan of Josh Taylor. I liked him before, but when he showed that heart and that tenacity in that fight with Regis Prograis, I ain't gonna lie, I became a fan of his because I'm a fan of Regis. Like, I ain't on that hating shit because he beat my guy. I'm gonna start hating on him. He actually made me a fan of his when you know he beat Regis, because it was a good, valid, valiant effort, and I don't think it was a robbery or anything. So, but Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, yeah, I think that fight is definitely gonna happen, and I'm high on that shit, bro. I want to see that fight bad. So, let me see, Brian. I'm gonna let you go back to back, fam. What do you think? Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, 4-belt Undisputed, 2021.
You mean Ramirez?
Yeah, Jose Ramirez
okay.
and Josh Taylor.
Yeah. Ramirez. Give me that fight. Tell you the truth, that fight happens anywhere near Glasgow, I'm heading to that shit.
Oh yeah.
If there's crowds there, if there's if the crowds are allowed on, I'm going. I'm on my way. I've already packed my bags. I'm going to watch that there. I will be supporting Josh Taylor, but that's a good fight. I think that is a high possibility, very very high possibility. I think they've been talking about it now for a while. That
Right.
I see no reason why this fight should not happen. Maybe middle of next year or maybe the end of next year. But I see no reason why this fight ain't happening.
Yeah, for sure.
None
For
whatsoever. And it's a fight I will enjoy. If it's anywhere, if it's in Glasgow, I'm heading to that.
Yeah,
Brian's gonna get arrested. Brian's getting arrested that night. He's getting
If
arrested.
it was close,
Probably.
Pete, what you think, Pete? Josh Taylor, Ramirez, probability, who wins? What you got, Pete? What you got?
I got the Anthony Joshua workout right now live on some
I
channel.
know I can't play it.
He got 18 subscribers. This dude. This guy doesn't even know you're going to be his 19th person watching this stream.
No. You said the guy got 18 subscribers?
Yeah, man. This is like my man. Shout out to Boxing Block Center.
Yeah, I ain't fucking around.
UK spelled center, not center.
No, I'm not fucking around. That little motherfucker be mad. Be like, who is this motherfucker using my goddamn channel? Strike him.
Yeah, he probably hates you. Bald bastard.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, what you think, Pete? What you think? Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. What's up? Tone
that's a good fight.
Lopez. Tone, what's good?
I'll just talk about the fight. That's a good fight. Josh Taylor,
You got
too
to
much
get
power,
outside the
man.
heavyweight division, man.
Huh?
It's a lot of good fights, man. You got to pay attention to our smaller guys, man. Josh
Come on.
Taylor, Jose Ramirez are warriors, Pete.
I know
True
that. I'm
warriors.
just trying to tell you. I'm not saying I'm not shitting on the fight. I'm just telling you. I don't think Taylor's got the. I don't think Taylor's got the power to keep Ramirez off of him. Ramirez, I don't. Something about
Oh,
Josh Taylor doesn't.
you got Ramirez in that.
Yeah.
It might be Brian. Hold on, Brian. I'm gonna just put you on mute for a second. All right, go ahead. Okay, well that's fine. So, what do you think about the probability of this fight happening?
I don't even know what their outfits are. Where are they at? Where's Taylor's on?
In-house,
Taylor.
baby. This is an in-house fight.
Well, let it
Big
rip.
Nose Aaron has got all control of this fight.
Then it's gonna happen.
See, there you go. I knew you was gonna say that. I don't know what it is with you and Bobby Boy. But you got so much faith in Bobby Boy, Pete. I see that. You know, you think, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Pete. And I tell you once and I tell you twice. Bob Arum is a goddamn snake in the grass. And he ain't no indigenous snake. That motherfucker's venomous. He a venomous snake. He'll bite the shit
Yeah.
out your ass. And you better not forget it, Pete.
He's promoting that
Trying to
show,
tell you.
man.
That
He's trying to make
motherfucker's
a
a snake, Pete. Snake in the
yeah.
grass. You keep that in the back of your mind, that goddamn Bob Arum. But yeah, I feel you. All right. So Monty Brown, what do you think, man? Josh Taylor, Ramirez.
That's the fight that's gonna happen, bro. That's the fight that's gonna happen. Josh Taylor and Ramirez. That's gonna be one hell of a fight, bro. But I got Josh Taylor. I got Josh Taylor. After like 6 or 7, I got Josh Taylor turn Ramirez ass up. I'm gonna keep it real, dog. I feel
You
like,
got Josh too?
man, Josh Taylor's a bad motherfucker, dog.
That
Josh
boy
Taylor,
bad, dog.
I
That's a
told niggas
bad dude.
he was gonna be Regis Prograis. I'm on record. I told them that. You feel me? I
Yeah,
told
I
them
pick Regis. I ain't gonna lie. I pick Regis.
that.
But I mean, I never like I didn't hate on Josh Money. I thought Josh was good. I always thought he was good. And as a matter of fact, Unrivaled, I wish he didn't leave, but me and him was talking about this before that fight. I always felt like Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis, those was the fight. Even though Jose Ramirez had the other 2 belts, I thought that those 2 guys was the fight. And whichever one of those guys won, that they would beat Ramirez. You feel me?
Yeah, but Josh Taylor can make the better adjustments, bro. And I knew he's gonna make the better adjustment when it comes down to the end. Jose Ramirez, like I said, he gonna be in it for like 6 rounds. And I think after that, Josh Taylor gonna make the adjustment and just start turning his ass up. He might even stop him, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Josh Taylor, dog, he's the best 140-pounder out there. I ain't agree with the little certain shit he was talking about, but for us, like we keeping it boxing, you gotta keep it real. Looking at the skill set inside the ring, that boy, dog, Josh Taylor.
You don't think Regis could get him in a rematch?
I mean, I feel like it'd be a hell of a fight. It's a possibility, but like I say, I still feel like Josh Taylor the one that can make the better adjustments. Regis, he's a fighter, bro. He got some little okay defense, but I feel like Josh Taylor all around, he the better all around fighter. And I feel like by him fighting Regis in the first fight like that, I still feel like he'll get him in the second one. Still be a good ass fight like the first one was, but I just feel like Josh Taylor at 140, he the best thing smoking at 140, bro. He the best thing smoking, dog. And I gotta give him his credit. I can't take nothing away.
Can't even lie, fam. I can't even lie. I'm big on Josh Taylor. And to me, if he should win that fight with Jose Ramirez, that shoots him for me. That shoots him right up to the top 5. You know, I don't know where I place him, but I'm putting him right up in the top 5 for pound.
You gotta think about it, D. That 140 pound, he coming undisputed at 140. It's a way tougher road than Crawford coming undisputed at 140.
Hell yeah. Crawford fought Julius, and man, look, I always be telling niggas about this Crawford shit, bro. Look, the way he collected his 2 belts, okay, his 2 belts that he collected, he got them that way, okay. But then to get the other 2 belts, he fought Julius Untungo. This fight, you know, we have people in the prediction league actually picking this fucking Julius Untungo in this fight this past weekend. And I was like, what the fuck are people thinking? Julius Ndongo was on the decline when he fought Terrence Crawford. And that ain't no lie, fam. Y'all think about this. That motherfucker was on the decline when he fought Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
When he fought him. That's how Terrence Crawford got 4-belt undisputed. If, like, with Usyk, fighting Bradis, fam. Maris Bradis is a fucking beast because he fucking ran that shit as soon as Usyk moved up to fucking he went in there and beat Dorticos, Uriel Dorticos. Bradis is a monster. That's how Usyk earned his. Fucking Josh Taylor get ready to earn his against a monster. Jose Ramirez ain't no slouch. That's no Julius and Dongo. And these motherfuckers already went through the fire to get their 2 belts.
Right.
They didn't even get Terrence Crawford. That's what I'm saying. He got his 2 belts easily. His 2 belts that he went into the fight with Julius and Dongo, he had no sweat getting those 2 belts. No sweat. Those guys, even if Jose Ramirez, real quick, money, even if Jose Ramirez wins against Josh Taylor, his journey is harder than Terrence Crawford's. He had a harder journey because they earned their shit, fam. They earned their shit. I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford didn't earn it, but he totally outclassed those guys he fought to get his. These guys are fighting guys on their level. Terrence Crawford, those guys they were B level. Julius Ndongo was a B level fighter at best. Nobody Terrence Crawford fought to get his belt was no more than a B level fighter. And I'm not hating. Go look at the shit. He fought nobody more than a B level fighter. That's why I say that I will say his best fight was Victor Postol. Now, I'm not going to shit on Victor. I think Victor's a dog. But at the same time, this is Crawford's path, fam. One dog you fight, basically, out of your whole path before you get to 147, you fought one dog, Victor Postol. Victor Postol. The only reason Gamboa rocked him because that was the first time Crawford was in a fight where he didn't have the luxury of having hand speed. If you go back and you watch Crawford, the guys he fought and how he was fighting, he had the luxury of having the hand speed in those fights. When he got to Yuriorkis Gamboa, all of a sudden there's a guy that can swing a little faster than you. Because don't forget, back then Gamboa was fast as shit and he had pop and everything, right? So he was quicker than Crawford. Boom. Once you don't see this, the one that gets you. And Gamboa rocked his ass. We'll put him on stinky leg. But we got to understand something. He still outclassed Gamboa. Even though Gamboa rocked him, that was a head speed thing. But Gamboa was never the boxer Terrence Crawford was. So people got to keep this shit in mind. 135, 140. That dude wasn't fighting this high-level competition. So that's why I always say, y'all got to stop leaning on that shit that Terrence Crawford did from 130, 135. Because, yes, it's impressive. It's something that hardly nobody done. You get 4-belt undisputed. That is impressive. But if Terrence Crawford had gotten 4-belt undisputed like Josh Taylor or Ramirez, and he comes up to 147, I would be more in tune to give him, the respect that he's getting now, right? But I think the respect that he's getting now for it is overblown because he didn't go through it in a tumultuous fashion. He didn't.
Yeah.
The respect that he's getting is if he did it like that, right? If he did it like Usyk, or if he did it like Jose Ramirez or Josh Taylor. He didn't do it like that, fam. And I'm not hating on Crawford because I give him his respect for accomplishing that. But it's not like he went through hell and hard water, walked through the fire to get that shit. Get the fuck out of here, fam. He fought Julius Ndongo.
That's why I say I give him his credit for doing it. It's like you say, we can't take away you doing it. And in the history books, it ain't gonna give a fuck how you did it. You did it. But at the same time, when you look at the level of competition, you do it. And the Dongo, my God, I can hit the Dongo up right now. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing as a road warrior, came over here. But we know Dongo wouldn't be no Ramirez, no Taylor, no Regis, no Ranch. He wouldn't even be Ivan Barancek. He wouldn't even be Ivan Barancek.
Zapata will knock him out. Teofimo will beat Ndongo. I guarantee you Teofimo will knock Ndongo out.
Yeah, Teofimo knock shot Ndongo.
Knock that man out, man.
It's just like when you're looking at that situation, dog, and I look at Josh Taylor, dog. When I first seen Josh Taylor, I was a big fan. You know what I'm saying? I was a big fan. I'm a big fan of like I say, Irish and Scotland fighters, bro. Because I'm a history dude, dog, and I know where them dudes come from. You feel me?
Yeah.
I love it. I love them dudes, man.
They got that fight in them, fam. They got that fight in them.
You ever watch the Peaky Blinders, D?
Yo, yeah, the shit where they just like be knocking up and shit. It's all stand up. Hell
That's
yeah,
my
man,
thing.
the motherfuckers be good. They go hard, fam. They're like, okay,
Yeah,
fuck it. Meet me in the park. You want to talk that
yeah.
shit? That's how
They
they handle that shit, dog.
Yeah, they come from a fighting background, dog. But that's why I say they fighters though. But yeah, I got Josh Taylor though, man. But that's gonna be one hell of a fight, man. And I pray we get that shit. And I think we're gonna get it next year. I feel like we're gonna get it. No, we possibly got it this year, but it's gonna be one hell of a fight. I ain't saying Ramirez can't fight. We know Robert Garcia always have his fighters ready to go. But I just feel like Josh Taylor is the better adjuster. And I feel like after he like if Josh Taylor don't sit up there and just fight, because he could get into that mind state of fucking let's fight, motherfucker. But I just feel like he gonna make the better adjustments and he gonna come out on top, dude.
Now check
Josh
this
Taylor,
out. Check this out, Monty. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you just brought
yeah,
that up.
man.
You made me
Yeah,
think about something. I want to ask you and
Hey,
Brian
man,
something. Pete stepped outside for a minute, so I'm gonna ask you and Brian this. Look, now that you just brought that up, Robert Garcia, I think that like this dude's one of the best trainers in boxing, dead ass. I was just talking about that earlier. But the corners, Ramirez definitely got the better corner because Josh Taylor corner is less to be desired. Look, his talent, he's a talented guy, Josh Taylor. When we talk about the corner, and then like you said, the adjustments, and I get that. Now, Robert, man, I didn't listen to this dude and his instructions out of the corner. That's going to play a part. Josh Taylor, you're right. Like as a fighter, he's more in tune to make the adjustments in the ring, but that corner matters too because that corner can tell you what you need to do. And Ramirez follows the instructions pretty well. Robert Garcia is excellent with that shit. He's going to see shit. And he's going to know. So how much do the corners play a part in this fight? Because that's going to be massive, man. A corner can win or lose you a goddamn fight. You got Tande sitting up there. Hey, the hook's right there. Relax, breathe, man. Breathe, man. Body shot, body shot, body. Hit him to the body shot. Like, okay, come on, bro. That's not instructions that your fighter need to fucking hear to go in there and turn this fight around. So corners can be massive. I want to ask y'all to what y'all feel of the corners in this. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay. As long as Josh Taylor doesn't listen to Ben Davison, he'll do far better. That's my perspective.
That's why I said the corners is like less to be desired over there, but Robert Garcia is the excellent.
Yeah. That could be the difference, right? Robert Garcia is a dog when it comes to training. That guy knows his shit. He adjusts fighters very well. He sees patterns happening, and he gives clear instructions. Davison is use your jab, use your distance. He doesn't verify. From what I've seen of him, he doesn't verify in what he does or what he wants a fighter to do. I think as long as Josh Taylor tunes him out on the night,
yeah,
what I mean.
Bro.
What?
No, I said I feel you. Go ahead.
No, just as long as he tunes him out on the night. Hopefully I would, there's people like he was with Shane McGuigan before that, wasn't he? Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Shane McGuigan's a better trainer than Ben Davison, right? So I would prefer Shane McGuigan in his corner. At least Shane will give him proper instructions, So, but I'm not a big fan of Ben Davison. Never have been, never will be. So if you ask me who's got the better trainer, Ramirez has the better trainer. Easily. Even if Shane McGuigan was in Fing's corner, I still think Ramirez has the better trainer.
Yeah.
But it would be better for Josh Taylor. So that's where I am with that, D.
All right. Real quick, Monty, before you rock on that. Tax Tack. Come on with this, bro. You know you talking to. You over here way too much for that shit. You go watch the fucking Ricky Burns fight because that's who he fought before Terrence Crawford. Listen, man. Listen. I go over this shit with you guys all the time, and you gotta stop this. Well, that's what I do, fam. This is what I do. That's why I always talk shit to everybody. Come join the prediction league so I can speak that ass. If you can't get the top 15, don't talk to me about nothing. Because listen, I stay in the top. That's what I do. I know what goes on in the ring. If you know what goes on in the ring, then you can look at these fighters and you can assess them fight by fight status. You can see if they're losing a step here, if their timing is slacking, if their feet are slowing down. You notice these things. And if you go back, if you go back and you look at Julius Ndongo, right? Just go back and watch it. Watch the Ricky Burns fight, right? If you see a guy who's sleeping this guy and sleeping that guy, and then he gets in a fight and he struggles, and I'm not knocking Ricky Burns, but it's not like this is a fucking Hall of Fame all-time great fighter that Ndongo was in the ring with. And he struggled, dude. So that's a clear sign of a decline. And plus, how old is Ndongo now? He's 39. So he was 36 at the fucking what the fuck you think he was gonna be going uphill? Come on, man. I don't just say this stuff for no reason, bro. I've been watching this sport for 40 goddamn years. I pay attention to this shit. You go watch the fight, because you probably ain't even seen it. You just want to fuss with me right now. So you go watch the Ricky Burns fight, and you tell me if that's a Julius Ndongo that looks like to you he's going uphill, going downhill. You tell me that. That's all. And then you go watch 5 fights before that. You go watch the Julius Ndongo, and you will see the decline. Listen, when guys get into their mid-30s to 40, they're not all Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao. This is what generally happens in this sport and athletics, to be honest with you. When they get into the mid-30s and 40s, when they get into those, you see a drastic decline. It can happen overnight. They have a saying for it in boxing. He got old in the ring overnight. You hear it all the time, okay? That was Julius Ndongo and that Ricky Burns fight. And if you know the sport, if you've been following the sport, you've seen it all before. You've seen it all before. So you could tell that Ndongo was on the decline. And those fights leading up to the Crawford fight. Bro, I don't hate on no fighter, bro. I'm not hating on Terrence Crawford. I'm not tearing down his resume or anything like that just to prove my point, because people do that shit. I know people do that shit, but that's not how I work over here, fam. You just don't take my word for nothing. Don't take my word for anything. Go look it up. That's all I can tell you. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. And you go watch that fight, then come back and holler at me and tell me if you don't think he was on a decline. He definitely was on a decline. Boxing Logic United, what's up? We talking 4-belt undisputed in 2021. You just stepped in, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. So how do you see the fight go on? What do you see the probability of that fight happening in 2021? And duly noted that they're both in-house at Top Rank.
I think it go.
Oh man, you come in with
And
the
I picked Ramirez. Huh?
All right, say that again, because you was electrocuting us for a second there.
I said it's a high probability for that fight to happen in 2021, and I picked Ramirez.
Okay, another one that picks Ramirez. Okay, so you pick Ramirez too, because somebody else picked Ramirez.
Oh, for sure.
How you think? Why would you say Ramirez? Does it have something to do with the corner? Because we was just talking about the corner. Like
no, it don't really have much. I mean, maybe a little bit to do with the corner, but I think Ramirez is just going to bang him out. Ramirez is much, much better. Another level higher than Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is a good fighter, but I don't believe has the potential to be a great fighter. Ramirez has the potential to be a great fighter, and that's why Ramirez definitely beats him. And so if Josh Taylor fight with Prograis was close, then hey, I don't think he has a chance of beating Ramirez. Just like I think, like I've said this already before in the show, I don't think Josh Taylor beats Hooker. So Because I do believe Regis Prograis is not as good as neither one of those two men. And I don't think
Oh
Josh
yeah.
Taylor's better than those two men either.
All right. See, so we are on the opposite end of the spectrum here because like just before you jumped up, there was a lot of people on the panel. Mark, Monty, Brown TV, Pete stepped outside, but we are pretty much in line with thinking that it was Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis that was ahead of the game. Were you saying that you felt like it was Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker that was ahead of the game? And whichever one of those two guys won, they were better than the other two, better than Regis
Yes,
and
definitely,
okay,
definitely.
all
And
right.
I've said that before because you look at who Regis Prograis. Look at this. Regis Prograis is pretty good, but we could look at fighters and see who can hit that other level. Regis Prograis never really shown much of anything to me. Okay, and Josh Taylor beat him. He beat him. He beat him good, but it was still. I don't think if it was either Maurice or Ramirez, they probably beats Regis Prograis better, much better. So I think
Right.
I got Josh Taylor's higher than Regis Prograis, definitely, because he's proven that. So I cannot put him above Regis Prograis, but he's not better than Hooker nor Ramirez, without a doubt, in my opinion. When he's over here now, he's fighting this competition more. It definitely separate. We'll see, but and don't get me wrong, Josh Taylor is a hell of a fighter. He's great, but Hooker and Ramirez got much more pop than Josh Taylor, and they got more skills than Regis Prograis, a lot more. So time will tell.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I said, that every man's got their own opinion. I don't really see it that way. I saw the other two guys as the clear better guys. Like I felt like I knew with Ramirez and Maurice Hooker, I knew that Hooker was going to lose that fight. 'Cause I picked Ramirez in the prediction league. I was telling everybody, man, Ramirez going to beat Maurice Hooker, fam. Maurice Hooker. I just always felt he was overrated anyway. So was no doubt in my mind he was going to lose to Ramirez. But Regis Prograis is my guy. Even though he lost to Josh Taylor, he's still my guy. I believe that fight warranted a rematch. I think that he could beat Josh Taylor, but I understand Josh Taylor moving forward, going after for a belt. At the same time, I always felt that Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor was a level above Ramirez. Hooker, I didn't put Hooker in line with Ramirez, Taylor, or Regis Prograis. I always thought he was the weakest link anyhow. And Ramirez proved that when he fought him and beat him the way he did. That was proof enough to me that I was correct with Hooker. I never thought that he was the guy that would end up with all the marbles anyway. So I always felt like Regis and Josh were, top, because I thought that if Jose Ramirez would have ended up fighting Josh Taylor and say it was Regis versus Hooker, of course, Regis would have did the Hooker what Ramirez did to Hooker, probably knocked him out. That's just how I feel about it, because I was never big on Maurice Hooker. Now, with Josh Taylor and Ramirez, had they faced off at first, I had Josh Taylor winning that fight. At first, I had him winning that fight. But it didn't go down that way. It ended up being Ramirez and Hooker and Regis and Josh. So Josh beat my guy. And I thought Regis was going to end up with all the marbles, to tell you the truth. And when Josh beat Regis Prograis, I was like, okay, this kid. I like Josh anyway, because like I said, I picked him to beat Hooker or Ramirez. So I've always liked Josh Taylor. But when he beat Regis Prograis, it took me to like fandom and shit. Like I'm a fan of his now. Like, man, he showed a lot of gusto in that fight. It's not like he didn't go through the war. That nigga eye was down there shut, bloody and everything. So he went through the war to get that. He didn't get that handed to him. He fought for that damn thing then. Ramirez beat Hooker up, beat him up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Hooker fought back good.
I mean, yeah, he fought back all right. He fought back getting his ass whooped. Like,
Ain't Hooker,
that's why
ain't Hooker Ramirez supposed to fight now?
Hooker and Ramirez, they already fought. Jose Ramirez beat him.
I mean Hooker and Prograis. I mean,
Yeah, Progress gonna beat him. Hands
okay.
down. He's probably gonna knock him out, and this is gonna show you anyway. Okay, well, and I'm glad you just brought that up too, Myron,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we'll revisit this conversation after that fight. You and I
When is
will
that fight?
definitely
When is
revisit.
that fight scheduled?
I don't even know, but fuck all that. You and I will revisit this conversation after that fight.
Exactly. It's going to be.
Right.
It's going to prove half the story.
Right. So yeah, it'll prove exactly. It won't prove the whole thing, but it will prove that he wasn't a level above them, because you just said that. You just said that he's a level above. You felt
Yes.
like Hooker.
I said
Right.
Hooker and Ramirez is above Taylor
Right,
and
right.
Prograis.
I get it. So if Progress go in there and knock him out, I'm pretty sure he will. I'm just trying to decide which round.
Okay.
That would not be correct, fam. That's all I'm telling you. You would not be correct there. You gotta accept that. Like if he's a level above,
what do you mean? If he lose, he lose. The
Yeah, I'm
fight.
just saying,
That's why
that's
we
what
wait
I'm
till the fight. You
That's
just
right.
saying let's go back on into the fight. Then we're gonna go back
So
on the
we-
fight.
so
That's a
we
done
will
deal.
revisit
I will
this.
be proved right, and you'll be proved
Yeah,
right. I'll be proved
yeah,
wrong, or you be proved wrong.
That's I seriously doubt that, fam. I'm
Yeah,
just
okay.
going.
I seriously doubt you are right. So when we
Yeah,
when we go from here, just wait till the fight happens.
Okay, I'm just confident in my picking
Me too.
of fights. Yeah, well, I don't know why, because Doug, you've been on some shaky ground sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
you was wrong. You was wrong with no, but you was wrong with you thought Reese was going to beat Josh Taylor, so you was wrong there. So get used to it.
Bro, I don't get nobody gets every fight right. Nobody gets every fight right, but
Exactly.
yeah, but some people pick at a higher rate, and my ratio is not even. You're not even. How about this? I'm levels above you by ratio. How about that? Yeah.
You ain't no levels above me. You learn from me. What are you talking about?
Byron, are you crazy? Are you
No,
crazy?
I'm dead serious.
You definitely one that need to get your happy ass in this prediction league, because you'll be hovering around down there at the bottom like all the other people that come talking that shit.
I wasn't.
Like
I
said,
was never interested in a prediction league. I don't have time to be going.
That's what everybody holler about. I don't have time.
I don't.
You
I'm a
have
busy
time to
man,
sit
bro.
here and yap off about how good you are at predictions, but you don't have time to write down some predictions. See,
Half the people. First of all, half the people on the prediction list. Here's the reason why. Half the people on that list, I don't even know who. I really don't keep up with much. I don't know what's going on in their career.
What?
So
what? That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
If I don't know what them, what do you mean? It doesn't mean anything. I just said I don't know what's going on in their career. I don't know them well. So when you just said that don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
This is why I said it doesn't mean anything. Because if it meant something, then I couldn't consistently pick these fights correctly. And I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't mean anything. Okay, because it's a simple process. I go look at a little footage of these guys. They always have fights posted. So you just go look at the most previous fight. You say, okay, he does this, he does that. You know, he thinks he uses a jab, he steps to the outside, he's a southpaw, whatever. And then you look at the other guy, you say, okay, he's gonna win. So it doesn't matter how much you know about him. You use your eyes. You recognize what's going on in the ring, what they bring to the table in the ring, and you select the fight. It's not hard.
D, that just proves you have that proves you have more time on your hands than me to do that.
Oh my God! It doesn't take long, Myron. It doesn't take that long. Well, how much of a fight you got to see? What do you? That's what I'm saying. That's what tells us what you know about what's going on in the ring. I don't have to fucking watch 10 fights of a guy.
You watched enough of myself to know about what's going on in the ring. I'm busy doing a lot of different things. Boxing joints, not just one of them. I don't got the chance to feed all those people I probably never heard of, half the guys on the list, because half of them be from over there in the UK too. So I don't know who they are.
Okay, I get that. I
don't know who they are.
I get that. No, I get it. I can understand that. So let me ask you this, Myron. Let me ask you this. If you have a guy that is involved in business, because I know you got a couple of businesses, coffee shop and such, you're a busy man. So you have a guy that's involved in business and he does YouTube socially, right? And then you have another guy who fucking does film study constantly. Which guy do you think? And not Myron and D, but this is just two guys: a busy man, a busy guy, and then a guy that does film study constantly. Which guy would you be more confident? Probably knows his shit about what's going on in that ring because he's always doing it and always watching and shit. Which guy would you think?
Which guy with you? What?
Yeah, man, whatever, bro. You know, it's the motherfucker. Listen, if you're doing something more, you're probably going to be better at it. Like, you're a businessman. So somebody who's just fucking doing business socially, you're probably going to have more success than they are because you're doing it constantly. Well, if
Okay,
you're
well,
not,
you said more as far as the betting. You talking about as far as the betting, the prediction league?
You understand? So let me break it down. So if I'm always doing this shit, which I am, because I've been in a prediction league the past fucking 6 seasons. So I'm always doing this shit, breaking down fights, talking about breaking down fights. This is what I do. That's why I tell people this is what I do. I pay attention to what's going on in the ring. See, you're not in the prediction league because you claim you don't have time for it or whatever. But if you was, out of 90 people and shit, getting in the top 15, you're good. Brian is in the prediction league. It's not easy to get in the top 15. Motherfucker, I remain in the top 5 forever. Never
Hey,
out
bro,
of the top 5.
D,
So no. This is
it's
all
not
about
important
Brian.
to me. It's not
I know
important to
it
me.
doesn't have to be important. It doesn't have to be
It's not
important.
important to
Okay,
me. I'm lying.
hold on. It's not about the importance to you, fam. I'm just
That's
saying.
important to it.
Okay, look, it's not about the importance to you. I'm just saying it shows that I understand who will win what fight. That's it. It just gives me validity on that.
It's
So
not important to me.
okay, it don't have
So
to be.
once Hooker and Progress get their fight on, that's what we initially started with. That's once they get their fight on, then that's
Right.
where we at on that, bro. Then we'll come back to that. But
Yeah.
I ain't trying to worry about the prediction league and all that, brother. Hey, I ain't trying to get all into this joint. I came to check you out. Just got out the hospital, check on you, piece up. I ain't trying to get into it. I'm not interested. Chat bros hit me with the joint all the time. I don't reply that much because I just don't have the time or the energy or the care to really get into the prediction league, bro. That's all it's about. It's nothing against nobody or anything like that. It's not that important to me at this moment. That's all.
No, it don't have to be. That's cool. It's just a fun game, bro. It's just a game. You know, everybody, Raider, what's up, Raider? From LA, Raider in the building. Raider in the league too, you know. Brian Harkin here, he's in the league. So you don't have to be in the league. Uncle Pete, he not in the league. Shit. You know, Silver, not in the league. Tone ain't in the league. So
how you feeling, D Jefferson? It's the main thing I come to check, brother. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I mean, right now I'm feeling good. I took some drugs before I started this live, so I wouldn't be hurting and shit. So right now I'm feeling real good. I told everybody now's the time to make me laugh because when I'm on this damn pill, it ain't nothing hurting. But
good. But they got your emotions like that or volume?
Hell no, bro. They gave me some ibuprofen, but and then they gave me some Oxycontin. So
shit.
Yeah, I had some pain early this morning, some real bad pain. So I took one of those things before I started this live, and those things ain't no joke. I don't take a lot of those, bro. I'm way behind. Like you know how they put on the tag, take one by mouth every such and such hours and all of that bullshit. Hey, bro, I got way more of those pills than I'm supposed to have. I just take the ibuprofen as much as possible, like the non-addictive. I don't fuck with that Oxycontin shit because that's opiate and it's really addictive. But when it get real bad, like when the pain get real bad, then I just take one of them, and that's one of the ones I have for this live. So I'm good right now.
Good. Hey,
still recovering, fam. You know what I mean? Still recovering.
Awesome. And this is the second and the last one, right? This was the second. This was the second one and the last one, right?
This was the final surgery. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, awesome. And you know what? I also agree with you. Far as it should be a rematch for the Prograis. I mean, not saying should, but it was good. It's good. I was happy to see Prograis lose that fight. Not because I picked Taylor, because I really didn't have a pick in that fight, but it humbled Regis Prograis. Because Regis Prograis, remember, we was going into that fight where he don't see no way how he could lose that fight. He just don't see it. He just kept reiterating that same thing. I just don't see how I can lose this fight. He lost. Even though it was a close match, he lost. And I think that was good for him because it needed to humble him. It was a piece of humble pie and to realize he ain't as good as he thought he was. And,
but I don't think
it was also it gave. Hold on, let me. I'm done. And then it also, he lost, of course. Stripes, and he had lost face because he lost to a UK dude at that. And when he came back to America, the cast was ragging on him. So that was good for Regis Prograis to get that loss early, and hopefully it made him a better fighter. I just hope the best for his career. I just think he needs to get a lot better to catch up with some of the other guys.
Teofimo, and I did a live on it and put the footage up with Teofimo saying this about Lomachenko before he went to the fight. Teofimo, the reporter asked him, the interviewer asked him, he said, so, before going into this fight, your mindset, I know you think you're going to win it and everything. And Teofimo stopped him. He said, no. I know I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. And this was to Lomachenko. My thing with that is that this is the mindset that these fighters should go in there with. That's not a knock. That's not arrogance. I think that is a show of supreme confidence. I don't no way I could lose this. No, I won this. This is my fight. Like they should go in there with that mindset. And I don't really knock them. I don't throw a knock at them for having that mindset. Like that's the mindset that they need to have. If you go in there doubting yourself, remember it's a mental game. You shouldn't really have any doubt in yourself. There should be no doubt. There should be no doubt. Like that's the mindset that I would want my fighters to go in there with.
Right, but I don't think you want them have be blind to the fact that they have still some skills they need to grow and build. Teofimo had the skills to pay the bills to beat Lomachenko. Josh Taylor was still unproven before that fight, in my opinion. He had a belt. He had a couple of belts, but I don't think he didn't beat no serious competition, in my opinion. So
yeah, but see, that's the thing, Myron, and I feel you if that's what you believe, but you don't. To me, you underrate Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis because just putting Jose Ramirez and Hooker, that's your opinion, and I mean you entitled to your opinion. I just think that you underrate them because if we're that far off, you got to see how we're far off. So to me, you underrate them. To you, I overrate them because you have them a level above. And I have Josh Taylor and Regis a level above your guys. So there is not even a mid ground. Like neither of them. Well, I think that they're all on the same level. Because I don't. I don't think they're all on the same level. And you don't, but we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. So I just feel like you underestimate Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis severely. And I mean, it's by what they've done. I think that you're underestimating them by fighting each other. I mean, like, nah, because here's the reality.
I looked at the previous fights too.
These were the last four guys. They were the last four guys. So regardless of what levels we got, who where, these were the last four guys. And so I don't know, man. I don't know how. If
I think Josh Taylor knows that Ramirez is much better than Regis. And if anybody pull out of that fight is going to, or if that fight is delayed, well, they both in-house. But I think Josh Taylor knows that Ramirez is much better than Regis Prograis. I think he knows that. And so, and everybody's probably knocking Ramirez because of the last fight. He didn't look so good. But, at the same time, sometimes you fight up to your competition, fight low. I don't know if that's Ramirez yet, so I'm not saying that. But I do believe just Ramirez beats Josh Taylor. So
let me ask you this then. If all of these guys, because again, these were the last four men standing, right? So if all of these guys got to that level and Josh Taylor wasn't proven, then how was Hooker and Ramirez? Because they all got to the same level. So if Josh Taylor ended up getting to a higher level than Hooker. So if you're saying that
because Josh Taylor fought the least, I can answer that now. Josh Taylor fought the less skilled of the two at the 140 over here. And that was Regis Prograis. That's how he jumped.
Yeah, but Myron, do you realize, like, again, I'm not saying nothing against your opinion, but it's not even just public opinion. Like, Regis was favored in the fight. I mean, not the sports analysis. I mean, like, no one. Maury, I mean, when you look at Regis' progress, when you look at Morris, Regis was favored, fam. Like,
Yeah,
he was
I
favored in
picked,
the fight, and you
I
got these.
picked, believe, I leaned towards Tiller to win that fight before because Regis didn't prove nothing to me. You know what I mean? I didn't care who won, but I was leaning towards Josh Taylor with his skill set. I'm comparing skill sets to skill set. And I saw Josh Taylor have better skill set overall than Regis Prograis.
Right.
And so
Okay, I
that's
get that. I get that. I understand that. So that's what I'm saying. You said Regis hadn't proven anything. And you just said before Josh hadn't proven anything. So this is what I'm asking you. If all of these guys got to the same level, right? Jose Ramirez, Maurice Hooker, Josh Taylor, and Regis Program at one point in time. Remember, it was a whole tournament deal going on and all of that. So at one point in time, all of these guys got to the same level. But you're saying that Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker was a level above these guys. What had they proven any more than Regis and Josh? They had to go through the same fire to get to where they were. So
right
it's
now.
not making no sense to me because they
Oh,
didn't
here
prove.
it is. Here it is.
Hold on, let me finish. They didn't prove any less. These guys all were the last four guys standing. They didn't prove any less. But you saying they didn't show you anything.
Okay, let
And
me
you
ask you a
got
question.
Hooker and Ramirez like over the top. So that's
Okay,
kind
let me
of
answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. I know where you're going. Okay, here's the bottom line. When Bud left 140, he left a lot of talent left. He left a serious void. And you had talent that was coming up, whatever, that can fill that void. But the 140, nobody would say 140 is the most talent, a very high talented division right now. Not at all. It's 135 or 147 and up. 140 is pretty like almost a no. You have, of course, champions there, but they're not the top level, and they're not top heavy. They're not top heavy at all, but with good A-level talent. So right there, it was easy for the taking for somebody with Josh Taylor or Prograis, you know what I mean, or even the other two to get in where they fit in. But comparing skill set to skill set, you know what I'm saying? And like you got Danny left, you got Bud that just left. You have a serious void there. And oh yeah, Ramirez just fought Postal, right? Wasn't that Victor Postal he fought in his last fight?
yeah, and it was not impressive. It was not an impressive showing.
Right.
And
That's what I said. Okay, yeah, I just said that. I said that. So
Taylor also beat Postal. You can't,
okay,
you
yeah.
can't forget
So
that.
I mean,
Beat Ivan Baranchik.
let me finish up real quick. So yeah, he left Terrence left a huge void there for guys to come in and fill in, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. 140 is not a deep division. Okay, so it's for the taking, and that's why Teofimo wants to jump up immediately after doing what he's done because he could see everybody can see that it's weak in 140 right now. So that pretty much answers your question. But comparing skill set to skill set, I see Hooker and Ramirez, them two with better skill sets than Prograis. Now I see Hooker, Ramirez, I see Josh Taylor with pretty good skill set as well, but he don't got the pop to fuck with Hooker and Ramirez, who have either equal amount of skill set as Josh Taylor. And them two, and then fought maybe tougher competition here and there, get Josh Taylor out of there. But Prograis, again, I had him at the bottom of the four.
All right, so okay. So
does that answer your question?
No.
Bud left. It's nobody at 140.
I mean, that's your answer, but bro, that shit's all over the place. Because
no, it's not.
Yeah, okay. Well, Myron,
right.
I was quiet, bro, while you was talking. So come on with that shit. Don't start that shit up. Now, it's all over the place to me. That's my opinion, and I can have it. Okay? Because for one thing, when you're talking about these guys, again, to me it's simple. You talked about how Josh Taylor hadn't proven anything. But Josh Taylor had beaten more valid opponents than Maurice Hooker. To prove something, you have to beat the right opponents. He had beaten more valid opponents than Maurice Hooker. I don't understand how we can have Maurice Hooker looking to be over Josh Taylor when he hasn't proven it. How is it that these fighters can get all of these accolades and praise and all of this shit, and they have not proven it? He didn't fight a Victor Postol. He didn't fight a Ivan Baranchik. Maurice Hooker didn't fight guys like that. And what Josh Taylor fought them and beaten them. This was before Regis program. So it's not like I'm just assessing this. I assess skills too, and that's why I went through all of that shit about, because I know what's going on in there too. I can see what guys do too. I understand transition and weight, foot placement, inside fighting, and all of that too. And so when I watch Josh Taylor and I watch him do it against higher level competition, and I see Maurice Hooker give up his height and advantage time after time again, give up that reach advantage. He gives it up time after. When I see the flaws and I see the skills on the Taylor side, I don't have Maurice Hooker over Josh Taylor. Again, I had to make this link. And regardless of the fact, I was at least right about that part, because now it's going to be Josh Taylor and Ramirez, the last guy standing. Fucking again, Jose Ramirez beat up. He beat up Maurice Hooker. Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis had a fight, a battle, a great fight. But Hooker got beat up.
It was okay.
Got beat up. Hold on, I'm still talking. The reason he got beat up is because he was the weakest link. And that was evident to me because of how he performed against who he performed. But when I watched Josh Taylor and how he performed against the guys that were valid names and how he performed in those fights, it was clear to me that Josh Taylor was the better guy. Now, you were smart enough to pick him over Regis, but that should show you that if he already fought the better opponent than Maurice Hooker, and it was a tumultuous fight with Regis Prograis, to me, that shows you where both of these guys are. And Hooker's not around there. Because, again, I can understand Ramirez being considered on the level of Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis, but Hooker was eliminated from that conversation when he was beat up by Jose Ramirez. Beat up.
Then Prograis was eliminated.
No, he wasn't, because they had, that's what I just told you, they had a tumultuous fight. It deserves a rematch. You even admitted it deserves a rematch.
I admit it deserves a rematch.
So he
I
did
admit
not get
that,
beat
but
up.
it wasn't a great fight. It wasn't a great fight.
Up in a one-sided fight, Myron.
It wasn't a great fight, though.
Beat up in a one-sided fight, fam.
It wasn't a great fight. It was, he deserves a rematch, but it wasn't a great fight. It wasn't like, it wasn't all that. It wasn't all that, bro.
All right, dog. Okay, that's great, Myron. I'm not, because everything that you said, Myron, listen. I get what you said. I cannot argue your opinion, but all of your opinion, fam, okay, but all of
you
your
can just argue yours. One question though, and I'm gone. I'm off the live. Josh, you said earlier something about all this praise and hoopla for Josh Taylor. Where is he ranked in the top 10, pound for pound?
Like, shit, I gotta do my top 10 here soon because I'm doing a project.
No, I'm talking about any other publications rankings. Where is he at in the top 10?
I don't think any of them are there, but I'm not sure.
So where's all this praise you're talking about then? That's all I want to leave it with. Good night, brother. Get well, brother. Peace.
Okay, well, that was a dumbass point. Yeah. Well, that
Myron
was
did
a
a drive-by.
stupid-ass point
Myron did a
because
drive-by.
Maurice Hooker or Jose Ramirez is not there either. And Jose Ramirez got 2 belts just like fucking Josh Taylor, and he ain't ranked in the fucking top 10. So that point was pointless and worthless. That was not a drop the mic point. That was what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, man, look, this whole thing, Myron, all of that shit he was talking about, all of his ideas, it's his opinions, but they're outside of the norm. Who the fuck thinks 140 is weak? It's motherfuckers in the chat that was laughing at him when he said that. The division is weak. So if you got all of these fucking off the wall ideas about it, Maurice Hooker and fucking Jose Ramirez is a level above Regis and fucking Josh. Like the fuck, 90% of the boxing world don't believe that. So if you're basing your point off of all of these fucking ridiculous ideas, okay, it's your opinions, but that's just ridiculous, fam. He couldn't even Listen, I asked him, how can you put Maurice Hooker a level above Josh Taylor just based on who they fought? He couldn't even. How you validate that shit, man? That man
Yeah.
fought different folks out and
Hey,
fucking
you guys
Morantic and
know,
won.
you guys
Who the
remember
fuck?
like,
Maurice
He beat
Hooker.
Blanchett.
Yeah,
Josh
look,
Taylor beat
hold on,
Blanchett.
right quick, Ryan. Maurice Hooker steps up to Ramirez and gets beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
You got him a level above Josh Taylor and still do. He said, and I still do. Like, dude, come on with these off the wall ideas. Come on, bro. That shit, you gotta validate this shit. And he validated nothing. And that so-called drop the mic point was even worthless, even more worthless because is he in the top 10? It's fucking Ramirez. No, I don't worry about
you know what?
anything.
Don't worry about it. You know what this kind of reminds me of? I know. You know what this reminds me of though? Kind of like, you know, like in the AJ and Ruiz first fight, and in the Wilder Fury second fight. When these guys came out, you could tell something was off. You know, something was not right with both of them. You know, you're in the same boat right now. You're faded right now from your medication, and you're not in the condition to
Didn't I
scream and
just tell
holler
you I took drugs? And I tell you something.
you know.
And I tell you something else
Yeah,
too.
I know. That's what I'm
Pete,
saying.
that
You're
was,
faded,
that
and
was
it's
Pete,
and
that shit was
Myron
like
took off on
taking
you like
candy
that.
from a baby, fam. That shit was like taking candy. That shit right there.
He
Listen,
caught you cold,
that's
D.
like
He caught you
sparring,
cold.
or a light touch. You know, going into a big fight. That shit was easy. I need to get back. You know, I had a little layoff. You know what I mean? Had the surgery. I had a little layoff. So that was like sparring right there.
The
Yeah,
mask.
that was
Your
just
mask was too
that was
heavy.
a
Yeah.
tune-up fight right there. You know what I mean? It was easy work. Easy work.
Your mask was too heavy. Your
Man,
bicep.
if you got all of this,
Breland spiked your water. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
But you rematch him
I don't
tomorrow.
need
You'll be
no
back tomorrow.
rematch.
That's a good thing. You don't have to wait.
Man, do you understand? Do you understand boxing, Uncle Pete? Do you understand how bad I just body bagged that dude? If you understand boxing, you definitely
Yeah, all right.
understand
Okay.
how
Okay,
bad he
champ.
just got
I know,
bodied up
champ. You're
here
good.
with that dumb shit he was talking.
Yes, champ.
Come on, man.
Yes.
140-pound
Yes, champ.
division is weak.
Yeah.
Maurice
All right.
level above.
Yo, check Myron's gloves, man. Someone check Myron's
Yeah.
gloves. Someone check Myron's
Can I
gloves real
ask
quick.
everyone a question? What was the best fight this year?
You know, I don't know, man.
I,
Juan
I
Francisco,
think it's Baranchyk Zepeda, right?
yeah,
At 140.
yeah.
You're telling me that you okay? That was a slugfest. That was beautiful to watch from both guys. You telling me 140's weak? That'll probably get fight of the year.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, IBT?
Yo, what's up, baby?
Did you hear this foolery, this tomfoolery coming
Yeah,
from Marvin Magnus, man?
that's why I'm on this dumbass panel right now, bro. What 140 week?
But wait a minute, why my panel gotta be up on that?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but arguably 140 had two fight of the years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And they got at least two guys in the top 15 pound for pound.
Yeah,
Right.
he's number 11 in mine. Josh Taylor's number 11 in my pound for pound list.
Yeah, yeah. And Ramirez not far behind him on mine. And then you're gonna have them go for Undisputed next year.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is a weak division. You got a bunch of former champions. Number 4 and number 5, or sorry, number 4, number 6 just had a fight of the year, and last year it was Prograis and Taylor.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
And what about Maurice Hooker is a level above Josh Taylor and Regis Program? What do you think about that one? You agree with that?
I like Hooker, but no, right? If he were a level above, he probably would have not been knocked out.
Right. Well,
He's still a good fighter. He's still good. Like, I think stylistically, one of them was gonna get knocked out, right? But yeah, that's tough.
Hooker gives up his range, man.
Yeah,
He gives up his range. That's his problem. But listen, come on, man. Did you hear about Josh Taylor hasn't proven anything? That was another one. He hasn't
crazy.
proven anything.
That's
he was
crazy
the
to me,
first.
man.
He was the first man. He was the first man to beat Baranchyk. Victor Postol, I believe, was 20-odd fights, one loss at the time when he fought him, and I believe that was
He proven the most at 140. That's why I was like, bro, what are you saying? That's why I got over him on that when I was talking about that Baranchik and Victor. It's not, you cannot say, this is my thing. You cannot say that Josh Taylor hasn't proven anything, but he's proven much more than Maurice Hooker. And then you say Maurice Hooker is a level above Josh Taylor. Well, what the fuck did Maurice Hooker prove to you? Cause Josh Taylor has already proven more to the entire goddamn boxing world than Maurice Hooker. But you have Maurice Hooker a level above Josh Taylor, which your claim that Josh Taylor hasn't proven anything. Okay, so what has Maurice Hooker proven? That's my thing. Like it's again, it's your opinion, but it's no validity behind that. You're not basing it with any type of substance. That shit is fucking rhetoric, tomfoolery at its finest.
Tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Trying to do a bit of Sean Connery there. Tomfoolery.
Man, we gotta get up on. You gotta give me your schedule so we can get cracking on that breakdown shit. How we gonna do it? In videos or lives?
I was thinking lives.
Live?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's do it that way. Yeah, we gotta get that shit. We gotta get that shit done. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So IBT, since you up here, how long have you been in here? You've been listening to all of the fights we was talking about, the probabilities. And...
Not all of them. I joined maybe around the beginning of that discussion with Myron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. 4-belt Undisputed in 2021. We started. Shit, man. We went through so many, but started off with Monster Inoue and Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire, the probability of them getting it on. We went to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. We talked about Teofimo potentially fighting Devin Haney after Kambosos Jr. We talked about 175 better Biev and Joe Smith and B-Ball, and them eventually getting it all done. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, of course. And then we talked about Jamel Charlo, Castano, and Patrick Teixeira, because that's a possibility as well. And then we ended up on this one. So, just the possibility of all of these matches, 4-belt Undisputed, because they're all possibilities. Like, if everything went perfect, we know that's not going to happen. We could actually get all of these next year. Every fucking one of them.
I don't think we will get all of them next year, but
No, for sure.
I hope we get a few of them.
No, I'm just saying that look, here's the thing. I don't think there's not a chance in hell we get all of these next year. I don't think it's no fucking way that happens. Like, but the situation is in line that we could. Boxing ain't gonna act right. But shit, Spencer, Crawford, no matter which one of them, they can fight Pacquiao. Boom, get the fight. Teofimo beat Kambosos Jr. Boom, go sign with Devin Haney. You know what I mean? We can walk this situation down with all of these fights. So the potential is there for every one of them. It's just a goddamn shame. I want to see at the end of 2021 how many of these we actually get. Because that's the question. We all know that we're not going to get all of these fights. We know that. But how many at the end of 2021, how many of these will we actually cash in on? Because they're all probability. The probability is there for all of them. Some low probability, some high, like the Charlo and the Ramirez and Josh Taylor. Those are high probability. It's a good chance we get at least 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
But what about the rest? No.
Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking, right? For me, Teofimo is the undisputed champion at 135. We get Josh Taylor Ramirez in the ring at 140. Those 2 fight. We get a champion there. At 147, we may get Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. And at 154, we may get Jesus Christ, Jamel Charlo and Castano or Teixeira. Depending on that there. That's 4 weight divisions in a row. We may have 147. How awesome would that be?
Yeah, I mean, but
How,
again, that's wishful thinking because no
I know
fucking
that's what you're thinking, but that would be awesome, wouldn't
yeah,
it?
it would. It would. I mean, just look at all the divisions we talked about. Bonito de Niro, what's that 118?
Yeah,
Um, we talked about that division. You move up to 135 with Teofimo. 140 with Taylor Ramirez, 147 with Spence and Crawford, 154 with Jamel and the winner of Textera.
yeah.
Castano, 175 with Better Bivol and Joe Smith and those guys getting it in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then heavyweight division with Tyson Fury and Joshua. So the potential is there for each one of these fucking divisions, fam. And it makes no sense. Black and Brown, what's up, brother? He said, which one of them beats Ramirez, Taylor, Pro? I believe both of them do. Black and Brown, both of them. Postal was a tough fight for Taylor. Hell yeah, what's up, Boxing King? Martin Ramos, what's up? Top two at 140, Taylor Ramirez. Damn right, man. Myron done lost his damn mind. Never underestimate the eye test. A good fact. It all depends on the eyes, Tone. If those eyes need glasses, you might want to think twice about it.
Get contacts.
Yeah, I think watch that video. You gotta watch the eyes. It's about the eyes just watching, fam. John Page, what's good with you? I thought Regis beat Dodge by a little margin. I think that, with that fight, John Page, I'm a Regis program. Like I said, Regis is my guy. And I think that the decision, the right man won that fight. I could
Yeah.
see though in that fight because it was close. So I could see how people would feel that Regis won. But to be honest with you, bro, I had it 7-5 for Josh.
Yeah.
And at best, John Page, I had it 7-5 for Josh. Oh, at best a draw, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't really see how Regis could win that fight. I see how he could pull off a draw, but I didn't see how he could win that fight. And so when they awarded it to Josh Taylor, I was perfectly fine with it. Even though I'm a pro Grace fan, I was fine with that decision because I actually saw it 7-5 Josh Taylor myself.
I had it a draw, but I could see it 7-5 for Josh. There was a round or two in there, which were very close. And
Yeah.
I thought Josh did more at certain points, that may have won him around, but at the end up, I had it a draw.
How about you, IBT? How'd you have that?
It was a close fight, but I personally thought Taylor won when I watched it. I haven't watched it in a long time, but
Right. Well, I thought Taylor pulled it out too, man.
Yeah, I got the intention of watching fights once and not going back and rewatching, until they fight somebody decent, again.
Yeah.
I have a thing.
Ramirez, Taylor, pro grade. Any matchup between these? Yeah, for sure. I'm with that too, Tom. Sure, Joe said most likely 2021 Taylor Ramirez and Charlo Texera. Yeah. I think so. Those two are the most likely to happen, Joe, is the Taylor Ramirez. And that's why we kind of left off with those two at the end. Josh Taylor and Ramirez and Charlo fighting the winner. Those are the most likely, in my opinion, because, again, I just think that Castaño is going to beat Texera. And that makes it just that much easier for the PBC to get that to happen. And I doubt that the PBC would snatch that chance from Jamel anyway. They would definitely look. That's some big money and everything. So they'll get Jamel into that. Jamel should he already called out Laura, so he should fight the winner, Texera Castaño, and then fight Laura after that. Or fight Laura before that. They didn't have all the belts, even though the IBO ain't recognized it, still have it. They have everything because he's got the Ring Magazine belt already.
Yeah.
Jamel's a beast, bro. That's why how the fuck I don't understand how people got Errol Spence over Jamel. I don't understand. Errol Spence is a unified champion, I get it. But he's done more at 154 than Spence has done at 147. Plus he's got three 3 belts unified, and he has a ring magazine belt. Errol Spence don't have no fucking ring magazine belt. He don't have.
They're just it's just people who rate welterweight more, right? Or they just like Spence, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy to me though. I like Spence. I'm a Spence fan.
Yeah.
I like Jamel too, though. I'm a Jamel fan. I think Jamel is the PBC king, man. That dude, and Jamel is going toward for a belt undisputed. Spence dancing around that motherfucker like he had a
Yeah.
fucking party dancing around for a belt undisputed. Jamel going right for it, right for it. How the fuck is Spence at the top? How? I can't put him over Jamel. I can't. He got to be behind Jamel. Jamel, what is Spence doing at 147 that Jamel is not doing at 154? But I can tell you what Jamel is doing at 154 that Spence is not doing at 147. The most that they could give to Spence, putting him over Jamel, they could say the loss. Fuck the loss. What did he do after the loss? He became a 2-time champion and then he went unified back to back. So he fought back to back champions off the loss. That's what he did. And he destroyed the guy in Jorge Cota in between. Like, come on, man. Jamel Charlo doing this thing. Jamel Charlo is hate has got to stop. Got to stop. Why that man not getting his shine? I think he get a bad name because of Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo fucking around. He said, I was joking about the ID some of these dudes. Ah, yeah, I know, right, Tom? He said, I was joking about the ID some of these dudes are like Stevie Wonder. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Tom. He said, I'm not the one saying 140 is weak. I'm actually arguing with you. No, I won't say you, Black and Brown. I was talking about that damn Myron. Myron Magnus was saying that crazy shit that 140.
No, that's him and I were talking, and he's saying that he started it out by saying 2 mid-level 140 pounders just had fight of the year, which is Branch
Oh,
and Cepeda. And I was arguing that I don't think they're mid-level, right? So I think
right.
for him, high level is like what I would consider elite. To me, high level is like if you're in the top 10-ish area, and that's a high level operator, right?
Yeah.
It's just a
I,
different in definition.
I was thinking about doing a video on this, Victor Ramirez, but not Richard Coleman. Javier Fortuna just called out Devin Haney. Now, see, when I talked to Bill Haney on Ring IQ's live, see, I got that motherfucker too. That's why I like talking to these guys, because now I got you right where I want you. And he can't come with no bullshit. So when I talk to him, when I okay. When I talked to him on Ring IQ, he said that Javier Fortuna and them didn't want no parts of Devin Haney. Now, I said it later on my life. I'm not gonna call this dude a liar or anything. But I asked him about reaching out to Javier Fortuna and Jorge Linares, right? I even had said I had put Yvonne Mendy in there, but he said Yvonne Mendy. I said, okay, let's throw out Yvonne Mendy. Well, let's stick with Javier Fortuna and Jorge Linares. And the man told me himself, he said he reached out to Jorge Linares already, and Jorge ain't want no parts of that. And I mean, I'm not Jorge or Javier Fortuna already, and Javier Fortuna didn't want no parts of that. And then I said, well, what about Linares? He said, well, Linares, and he stalled for a second. He said, well, yeah, well, we reached out to him too, which I never believe that shit because I don't believe they reached out to Linares. But here it is with the Javier Fortuna because I pushed up on him about it. I'm like, bro, he was already in line to fight Lomachenko. There's no way in hell that he's going to fight Devin Haney when he's in line to fight Lomachenko. Why would he even do that? Why would he go in a different direction to do that? But of course, he had validation. He did push up on him for the fight. Okay. Well, now fast forward. You don't have a fucking fight. You don't have a fight now, Bill Haney. And that man just called you out. So you can't say he don't want the smoke because he just called out Devin Haney. So what is Devin Haney going to do concerning Javier Fortuna? Now, Victor Ramirez, I agree. That's a good fight too. He could go fight Richard Coleman. I believe Devin Haney beats Richard Coleman, but that still would be a more valid opponent than anybody he has on his resume. But he needs to answer the call to Javier Fortuna, because Javier Fortuna just called him out. Brian, you and the damn chips. You know what I mean?
No, no.
Oh, my bad. No, I'm folding up something. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Well, you and the damn chips. But anyway,
I,
yeah, man. So what
I
do
don't
y'all
even
think? What do y'all think
like.
about the Javier Fortuna music? Because he's talking to Devin Haney. You ain't got no damn Teofimo. He going to get money from Cambosis Jr. Haney need to take Javier Fortuna.
Yeah.
Y-
Bohaney has been caught saying we won't go after anyone who hasn't called us out. So apparently now Javier Fortuna has called the name Devin Haney. So let's see how that goes. He said that. He said that on I think it was Punch Drunk's live. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was someone's live anyway. I remember him saying specifically, we won't go after anyone until they call our name. So
Yeah, we were doing punch drunk when he said that shit.
yeah. Javier Fortuna has called his name out, so let's see what happens now. He can't say he hasn't called his name out in public, so you know.
Yeah. I always get Bill Haney stuttering, bro. When I get around him, I got him to stuttering every time. Cause that look, man, I keep that shit locked in. These things he tell me, and I ask him these things for a reason. So you can't keep ducking and dodging around this. Cause you claim Javier Fortuna don't want the music. Now he just called you out. You can't make that claim no more. And dude, I got you on wax. I asked you, Bill. I asked you these things. And I didn't, and I said it, I didn't believe it. But I'm not gonna call him a liar. But I just didn't believe it. So
Yeah.
to me, this is proving it. I'm not trying to hear Hobby. What the fuck anybody gotta be? Look, that hype that these guys got built around Devin Haney. Those boxers don't give a shit about our hype. What's up, D Hodges? What's up, fam? Those boxers don't give a Deontay Wilder's MXBC. What's good? They don't care about how the fans hype these guys up. They look at this guy and they're like, man, I'll beat that dude. That's what they say to themselves. Javier Fortuna ain't afraid of Devin Haney. Because I
No.
don't think Devin Haney has proven shit. What has Devin Haney done? You think Javier Fortuna don't think he can beat Gamboa? He knows he can beat Gamboa. You think he don't feel like he can beat Alfredo Santiago or Abdulayev? Javier Fortuna know he can beat those guys. So
Yeah.
why does he look at this 21-year-old kid and say, "Oh no, I don't want to fight him"? Please, man. That's that facade Bill Haney trying to put up. Javier Fortuna just called your son out, Bill. You don't have nothing on the horizon. You ain't got a goddamn thing on the horizon that's worth it. I don't want to hear shit about no fucking Gary Russell when you can fight Javier Fortuna when that man is calling you out right now. Javier calling you out right now. I don't want to know about no Gary Russell.
Yeah. That's what he said. They were looking at the Gary Russell fight because Gary Russell called his name out. Now Javier Fortuna has called his name out. I wonder would they be as anxious to try to get that fight over the line? You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. He got to, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned, because if he doesn't, when he runs into me the next time, oh, it's on and popping. Because look,
Yeah.
I was on the panel with him both times. That shit. When he said that shit that you talking about, Brian, I know you're not lying because I was on the panel with him. And I'm the one who asked him the questions about this fucking Javier Fortuna and Ladara shit on Julius's panel. When I was talking to him on Ring IQ. I asked him this shit. So you can't lie to me, motherfucker. We had this discussion personally, me and you. You can't lie. You can't come back around and lie to me. You said the man don't want the smoke. Well, he calling you out. And you also told me, Mr. Bill Haney, that when somebody calls you out, that you going to get that work. Well, Javier Fortuna, a guy you claim didn't want the smoke, just called you the fuck out. And that's a better fight than anybody on your resume. Tank Davis, Floyd ain't putting them in the ring with you. So can that Tank Davis shit. The only fight that I would like to see him take, if he's not going to take Javier Fortuna, is the winner of Ryan Campbell and I'm Ryan Campbell, Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only fight that would, to me, would be valid if it's not going to be Javier Fortuna. But if it's not the winner of Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia, it should be Fortuna or nothing. It should be Fortuna or nothing. Because who else you going to fight that's going to validate? You can't get the Teofimo fight. And ain't a goddamn way in hell Floyd going to put Tank Davis in the ring with Devin Haney. So those are non-issues. Those are non-issues. Because y'all not coming up off of $10 million to pay Teofimo Lopez. So that fight ain't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Devin Haney personally has never impressed me when I've watched him. I think he has no power. He's a good boxer. I think he has no power. He has no pop at 135.
Yeah,
Nothing.
he lacks power. He definitely lacks power.
You know, he lacks power. I think he's a decent boxer. There are some guys in that 135 division. I think if they land on him because he's pretty much an untested chin. So, I think there's a couple of guys I'd like to see have a go at him because I think there's a lot of guys in that division that won't fear his power and will press up on him. And Fortuna is one of them.
But none of them gonna fear his power.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think at some levels, which could probably get some of those guys in trouble, they may underestimate any power that he does have. And look, when these guys look at him punching on Gamboa and not getting the response that man, you think these other fighters, they don't have no respect for his power, man. They're probably behind the scenes talking shit. Oh, that dude can't punch. These are fighters, man. If I don't have, I'm no fighter. I've not fought in the ring. And if I don't have respect for his power, you think those guys got respect for his power? They know more about guys punching each other than I do. Man, hell no. Hell no. They don't have no respect for that full power. He don't have it. He has a lack of power. Power issue.
Yeah. No, but I'm on about is people who actually can walk through it and have the ability, to put them under the pressure, like that actually has boxing ability that could put him under the pressure. There's a lot of guys in that division I think would not fear his power, but wouldn't have the boxing IQ or the boxing ability to put him under the pressure. I think Fortuna is one of them guys who will put him under pressure. That's where I'm coming from, D.
Yeah. No, usually Bill Haney told me that. It wasn't Devin, it was Bill Haney that told me that. But don't be fooled, bro. Just like Junior Lopez, Kenny Porter, Angel Garcia, these guys, these fathers are instrumental in their son's moves. So I know that Devin Haney does his own thing and he has his own power. But you gotta believe that he and his dad work together on the way the kid moves, man. Trust and believe that. Bill Haney, the things that Bill Haney do say, they get into the fights that he talks about. So come on with that, Yuli. I ain't don't try to be like, well, Devin didn't say that. Nah, man. Bill represents his son. They pretty much working hand in hand. So when you hear Bill say something, that's how they're gonna move. And that's how it's been, Yuli X Games. Bill will say something again, same with Teofimo and Junior Lopez. He'll say something, and that's the way they move. Okay, so we got to give credibility in what he say as far as he said what we gonna do. Because when I talk to Bill Haney, Yuli X Games, he always says what we're gonna do. Talking about him and his son, how we are gonna move. This is how we are gonna approach this. That's what he says, Yuli, and it pretty much ends up how he says it's gonna go. So you got to just put two and two together, fam. If Bill says it, then it's got a lot of validity to it. No, nothing's definite because Devin Haney has the last say. So I get where you're going with that. But if Bill says something, you know, and even if it's not the case, Julie, I'm gonna hold that motherfucker to the fire because I will talk to him again. I talk to him often, and when I talk to him again, I'm gonna hold his ass to the fire. I don't give a shit if Devin said it or not. That motherfucker said it, and he said it to me. So I'm gonna hold him to the fire when I see him again. What's up with Javier Fortuna? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna do because you might not believe that Bill is instrumental in Devin Haney's decision, Julie X game. But I believe he is. And I'm gonna hold his ass to the fire. What's up with this Fortuna fight, fool? Because you said he ain't want no party. Well, if he didn't want no party, why the hell is he calling you out right now?
I will say that there was a time, I think he is still mandatory, right? But he was mandatory and he wasn't really calling for it like that. I do know. So
Yeah,
I
that was
don't think.
a different situation. That's what I was talking about before. I
Yeah,
already went over that with Bill Haney. That was because of at the time Javier Fortuna had the path to Lomachenko, but we know all of that shit went south with the Luke Campbell situation and all that dumb nonsense. Okay, but
yeah.
still he had the direct path to Lomachenko. So what I'm saying is there's no reason for him to disrupt that path for Devin Haney at that time. That's
You
why
know
that never materialized.
that's what I'm saying. At this point, I think because that ship has sailed, right? And now he's pursuing Haney, and I think that'd be a good fight for both of them,
Right,
to be
right.
honest.
And I think that's perfectly fine. Like, okay, now I don't have a opportunity for Lomachenko, and even if I did, he don't got the cuss anyway. Okay, yeah, let's make this shit happen. Because now you're not disrupting what I already had online. Like Bill Haney and Devin Haney would have been disrupting what Javier Fortuna had in line. Well, he don't have that in line anymore. He wide open now, and he calling your ass out. So let's make it happen. Because you don't have, if it's not Javier Fortuna, that's what I'm saying. Who is it? Is it the winner of Luke Campbell and Ryan? Okay, that's good. I'll take that. But who is it? Who is it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, as much criticism as we've given Haney, right? And I think it's all valid. He's still young, so he has plenty of time to develop a good lightweight resume before he grows out of the division, right? If you want to look at someone like Shakur, yes, he's a former champion at 126, but he didn't actually really beat anyone, right? Like maybe you could say Joey Gonzalez is retroactively like top 15, but even that's kind of like I don't know, right? Haney, let's say he fights Fortuna, then he fights the winner of Ryan Campbell, and if he can win this fight, he'll fight. I don't know. I'm gonna exclude Tio just for the because if he fights Tio, then it's like whatever. But he could fight these former champions and these contenders and the mandatories, and he'd still have a good resume. Like imagine a Fortuna winner of Ryan versus Campbell, and then like Linares or something.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
still good. He has time, but
Yeah.
you can't sit on it too long. You know what I mean? Because he is a champion. He's kind of like you say. He's kind of like a prospect with prospect with the belt. So
right.
you're gonna have real contenders coming after you. So you better shape up before they get your ass, basically.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think he beats the winner between Ryan and Luke. I don't think he beats either one of those guys. The the fact that the fact that even I think Fortuna is a tough fight for Devin Haney at this point. But Devin Haney is young. He's what 21, 22 years old.
Right. Yeah.
He's at the point. He's not even grown. He's not even have grown his man strength yet. So
Well,
if he
no.
does, you know, but he's not growing his full man strength yet.
Right.
But he can get to that point if he could just. I think he's a good boxer. He's great technique. If he could get to that point where he could put a bit of pop in his punches, just to show these guys a little bit of fear. He could be an excellent fighter, but at this moment, I don't think he's ready for either one of those two guys, either Luke Campbell or Ryan Garcia. I don't think he beats either one of them. Never mind beating a Teofimo Lopez.
Right. Yeah.
So that's
Chitty.
that's my point. And he's never impressed me. I've never been impressed with Devin Haney. And
Yeah,
Tyson,
I ain't really doing overhang either, man. Chitty
yeah,
Boom, Chitty Bomo says, yo, anyone call out Punch F for claiming Spence versus Garcia was razor close and turned in 11 for. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, Chitty. I called I called I was talking to Punch about that. Me and Punch went at it about that shit. Punch crazy as hell. Listen, that fight that fight, Punch crazy as hell with that shit. That fight, you can't give no less than 8-4. I said that I could understand if somebody gave that fight 8-4 because I had it 9-3 myself with a swing round. Okay.
Sam.
I said personally that I could understand somebody giving the fight 8-4. And the people that said 10-2, I don't really agree with that, but that's just around the way, so I can't really be too mad at 10-2. I had it 9-3 with a swing round. But with that being said, ain't no fucking way you can see 6-6 out of that fight. Hell to the fuck no. Punch Drunk was so gung ho that Danny Garcia was going to be competitive and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if Punch Drunk really believes that shit or if he's just trying to get faced with that shit, but ain't no fucking way 8-4 was the best you could do for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia did not win 5 rounds in that fight. He did not win 5 rounds in that fight. But to say he won 6, you got me fucked up, man. He didn't win 5. There's no way you can put 6 in there. How?
I
How?
struggled. I struggled to give him. I had 9 free, and I struggled to give him 3 rounds. That's just how I thought about
Yeah.
it. Watching that, I struggled to get. I don't know how anybody in their right mind, anybody seeing could give that a 6-6.
Yeah, I had it 7-5. Danny Garcia factually undefeated, 39-0. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I had the fight 10-2, I think, but to me 8-4 was the closest you could have it, right? I thought 10-2 to 8-4, 9-3 being the most common one that I heard. So that's fine to me. Danny didn't do badly, but just he didn't do enough, and Spence performed really well.
Yeah, he did it in
Yeah,
spurts.
yeah.
He did it in
Yeah.
spurts, but there was just so many times he was inactive and he just didn't let his hands go. So
Jacqueline Harold. What's up, Jacqueline Harold? Appreciate you coming through. That's a new
yeah. I'm subscribed to her on one of the other channels, So
What she talk boxing?
nah.
Oh, okay.
Other when I was doing reaction when
What's her niche, Brian?
mainly reaction, channels.
Okay. Well, y'all check out Jacqueline Harold TV. Check her out. Appreciate you coming through, Jacqueline.
Yeah. Fitness and all that there, So
Yeah.
basically, but what was I saying?
You're talking about the Danny Spence?
Danny did it in spurts, but at times he just didn't let his hands go. There's certain things Danny can't do. Danny can't cut down the ring for shit, right? He is following Errol Spence down the ring half the time. I'm just thinking, just cut off the ring. Danny did a Danny performance. We all know this. Danny did a Danny performance, and Errol Spence Jr. did an Errol Spence Jr. performance. He just outworked him at certain points in that fight. Anybody who give that 6-6 is a little bit, up there. They're a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Victor Ramirez. I would too. Victor Ramirez said I would even like to see the win of Nakatani versus Verdejo fight. Hey, hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
The winner of that fight. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the winner of that fight, I do believe, gets some WBO Continental, Intercontinental title. So the winner of that fight will be ranked highly in the WBO. Just by the way.
Yeah. No. Well, I get that, but this is what he said. I would like to see the winner. So yeah, I get it. We might not get it because of those.
Yeah.
But I would like to see that fight too. And I mean, with that being said, if they throw them some money and say, "Hey, let's fight for $3 million," the fight can happen. Fuck the WBO, all of that bullshit. They'll make the fight. They'll go take the fight. I would damn sure like to see it. I want to see Devin Haney do something, man. Like, because the female fight, he has to do something anyway. Why? Whoever he fights next, it has to be somebody valid, or Bob ain't making that fight, fam. He basically came out and said that. He's not accepting. He's not going to accept. Bob Arum, the fans, the PBC lovers, the Devin Haney lovers, the Teofimo haters, and the Gary Russell fanboys. They may all be an accepting of a Gary Russell fight. But for Devin Haney to get Teofimo Lopez, that's not going to be acceptable to Bob Arum. And that's what's important. So he's got to go fight somebody valid. I think Javier Fortuna will be valid because Bob even mentioned Javier Fortuna, right? Even Bob mentioned Javier Fortuna. So that would definitely be a valid fight. Look, Bob said he has to do something. He has to do something.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Give me give me Fortuna Haney. Let's see what Haney really has, because for me, he's still unproven, right? Beating a Yukis Gamboa, a 38-year-old Yukis Gamboa, way past his best, ain't impressive to me. And the way he won wasn't very good. It lacked uh what's the word I'm looking for? It lacked I don't know, it just lacked excitement for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just a boring fighter. And I'm just waiting to see if he has this other gear, because I don't get all the hype around him. I really don't. I don't get all the hype around Devin Haney. There's just
I
something.
mean, listen,
I've never been excited.
the hype around Devin Haney comes from a certain PBC group in the LGBTC community. And look, when he came in, I think it was 78 TV, and ain't no white boy gonna beat me. You gotta understand something, man. That just appeases a certain demographic. Now you're gonna have a demographic that gonna get behind you because of a statement like that. Now, it ain't really about if we agree with it or we don't agree with it or whatever. He said it, so a certain demographic jumped behind him, and now they pumping him up like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's where all the hype comes from. I mean, people go for that, right? I personally don't go for that. It don't have. He came out and apologized about it. So all of the idiots that's going for that, he doesn't even feel like it was necessary that he said that. So the whole thing is this, man. He has that demographic behind him, and that's where the hype is coming from. He's done nothing in the ring to deserve that hype. He's not shown us anything in the ring to deserve that hype. I've seen a lot of guys move well in this sport in the past. Like they move well, they look like they did goods, and bow. As soon as they step up, they get fucked up because they look good against lower level competition. But when they stepped up to better competition, they just couldn't pull it off. The first hard punch they took, it changed their whole game plan, it changed their whole demeanor in the ring. The first hard body shot they stop moving to the right and continue circling to the left and start taking things away from their own game because they're facing, they're going through adversities they've never gone through before. We see these things happen, guys that fight lower level competition. So the eye test, even if you do have an eye, can take you but so far. Eventually, we have to see these guys fight the level of competition. Now, you can utilize your eyes all the way through, but you still have to utilize your eyes against a higher level of competition. If your eye test is just showing you against low level opponents, your eyes ain't seeing no fucking more than mine seeing. And Devin Haney ain't showing us no more. So he's got to show us more, fam. He has to get a higher level of competition. This is how it goes. Well, I'm not gonna be convinced. Y'all, you guys can be convinced about him all you want. You Devin Haney lovers, you can be convinced all you want. If he doesn't show me, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm not gonna be sucked into these silly narratives and this dumb hype about any fighter. And Devin Haney's got to step it up, man. Javier Fortuna should be on the list. That should be on the list. It should be Javier Fortuna. It should be win of Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia, or like Victor Ramirez said, throw an offer to the win of Nakatani and Verdejo, which I think is going to be Masaoshi Nakatani, which would be a definitely a good fight because Masaoshi Nakatani took Teofimo 12 rounds. So that would be an opponent in common. You know what I mean? So be some measurements, and I don't think that it means so much because style makes fight, but it gives you some type of measurement of how these guys fare in the ring with each other. Look, man, Devin Haney need to do something. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm with him. He has to he has to step up now because I won't accept the Yukas Gamboa for his next fight. Right? If that's the level of competition he's going after, I won't watch his next fight.
Yeah,
Um,
see, this is the dumb shit. This is the dumb shit. Look, Chili, boom, Bomo. Look, Mayweather proved it, fam. This is the only thing. I didn't say anything about Devin Haney's style. Maybe you're talking to somebody in the chat, so I'm not gonna
talking
get on you. But I didn't say anything about his style. I said he needs to prove it. Mayweather proved it. So that's the
well,
difference. And
Man,
I really
well,
wish
Mayweather,
people would stop talking about Devin Haney when it comes to Floyd Mayweather because he is not that guy. He ain't
yeah,
even shown us nothing to make us believe he's that guy.
yeah, Mayweather when he was 21, 22, he was tearing guys up.
Yeah, he
Devin
was.
Haney,
Pretty
yeah,
boy Floyd.
Devin Haney ain't tearing anyone up.
may I
Floyd
also say?
Mayweather,
Oh, sorry, go.
no, I'm just saying Floyd Mayweather came out as an exciting fighter. Devin Haney has never excited me 1 ounce of, every time I watch him, I just want to sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say Floyd. Like people always talk about Floyd and Haney and boring style, and whatever, right? First of all, I don't necessarily like. I get the stances are similar, but in terms of stylistically how they fight, I feel like they have different win conditions, and I feel like Floyd's style of fighting is far more sophisticated. It's more versatile, and I think he was. I
Much
think
more
people.
versatile.
Yeah, way
But
obviously way more, right? He's doing more offensively and defensively, whereas I think Haney's very thus far he's one dimensional. Floyd had many dimensions and folds to his game, and I think people exaggerate how boring he was. Yes, there were some fights that that didn't live up to the hype, as they say. But if you want to look at like the Cotto fight, for example, right? There are rounds and like minute intervals where Floyd is just throwing hands the whole time and keeping Cotto on the outside, but he's throwing hands, landing combinations, upstairs, downstairs, blocking, rolling, count, right? That to me is entertaining. Thus far, Haney hasn't even done anything like that, right? Like the closest thing you could say would be the KO over Antonio Moran, but
yeah,
Floyd was doing it versus high-level operators, making them look normal, which is way more impressive and captivating than looking decent versus Yuriokis Gamboa past his prime and all this
Right.
crap, right?
Exactly.
Like I feel like the comparisons with those two need to stop really, and at this point, their styles are not the same. Like maybe there are similarities, but they're not the same at all.
yeah, but the
Not
style,
even remotely close, man. Told Prime
right?
Fighter Champion said Haney should have never talked this on Tank's performance against Gamboa just made it work. Yeah, for sure, for sure. He shouldn't have said nothing because that's what I'm saying. You talked about Tank's performance. Augusta win could knock out Gamboa. This is what Devin Haney said. Augusta win could knock out Gamboa. Ain't nobody impressed by what Tank did with Gamboa. Well, then you must punch less than Augusta win because you could knock him out. You pillow fisted fuck. Augusta win could knock him out, and you could. Devin has great potential accepting that belt the way he did damage his reputation, the odds of men. Man, it's not about that belt, no, that foolery with me, Tone. It's about him fighting the guys he need to fight. That's all it's about with me, bro. It ain't about no hate and all of that politics and shit. Cliff Bailey, while the first 30 opponents were low level, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. UDS games. How should you have accepted that belt, even giving it to him after Loma asked for the franchise title? I don't know, man. I don't know. Why would they even take the Abdullah fight knowing that that would kill any chances of Lomachenko? That's where it really started. When they should have never took the Abdullah fight. They should have went another route, just like Teofimo decided to go. But they decided to deal with Suleiman's bullshit for money because it was money. And I know this for a fact because that's what Bill Haney told me. I asked him, I said, well, why would you even go into this Abdullah fight knowing that it kills your chances to get a Lomachenko fight? Why would you even take this? Why would you even sign on to the foolery? And Bill Haney told me He said, "I'll give you 2.5 million reasons why." So he told me right there he was willing to deal with the bullshit, and he admitted that he knew it would cut his ties off for $2.5 million. Okay, well, there it is. He did it for the money, and this comes from the horse's mouth. So look, man, that's just why I say I'm all about the facts over here. Just facts, just facts. You know what I mean? Don't call me a liar. Go call Bill Haney a liar because he the motherfucker that said the shit. He said it to me. You know what I mean? Bill Castro, what's good with you, fam? What's good with you? And all he
Can I,
did was run and clinch the second half of his career. Talk about Floyd. Go ahead, Brian. What's up,
can I
Smoke?
can I answer the smoke question? Can I?
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead, Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
what you say?
Yeah. Can I answer the smoke question? Get the smoke? I was reading the comments there, so I just wanted to answer. Right here's the hype about Daniel Dubois. The guy has power but can't box. Right? Devin Haney can box but doesn't have power. But the fact is that Dubois is a heavyweight, and the fact that a heavyweight has power is more vital for a heavyweight than a guy that has boxing skills but no power at 135. You know, I never really found the hype about Daniel Dubois. You know, I always thought, you know, he was overrated. So, you know, and I picked Joe Joyce to win that fight. So, I never really found the hype of Daniel Dubois. I never really, you know, was a fan of his. I always thought he was overrated. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get it either.
yeah. So,
I don't
Hence,
think any of us did.
hence why, hence. Sorry, D, but just hence why we picked against him and put money on it, right? And the exact round and everything, D.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I was about to say I don't think any of us had bought into the hype because we all
yeah,
picked Joe Judge to win. So I mean, you know,
I,
none of us
I
was fooled by that shit.
Here, I picked fourth round stoppage, so that
Yeah,
tells you that tells you what I believe about Daniel Dubois. You know, going into it. So
right.
of that's me believing in the hype smoke.
Right. I think Brian had much less faith in Dubois than we did because he did pick the fourth. I asked, I said, "Damn, Brian, that early? I don't know about that one." But
Yeah,
nah, I understood thinking that Joe Joyce would win. Like what I couldn't understand, like when I used to talk to Julius, because I told Julius, I'm like, bro, uh, he's not gonna beat Joe Joyce, fam. And D, I'm telling you, I said, no. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna beat Joe Joyce, fam. Like, what? How do you see this? Like, I don't understand where. I don't know. I just don't know what people were saying because I kept hearing about Joe Joyce being so slow. And then I kept saying this too. Daniel Dubois has hand speed over Joe, but slight. It's not like this dude got super fast hands. So he's slightly got a hand speed advantage, but his footwork is not nowhere near as good as Joe Joyce.
nowhere near,
And that
nowhere
was the
near.
problem. Like his footwork is never it was not as near. And they kept talking about this power. I'm like, bro, look at who he's knocking out. And just look at the chin that Joe Joyce has shown us. We don't know what Daniel Dubois' power is going to look like against that chin. I said Daniel Dubois' power has a question. I think Joe Joyce's chin is pretty solid. I think that question's answered. So what if he gets in there and he can't have his way? And I'm assuming that he won't be able to have his way because he's knocking out Schneiders and Fujimoto's and Ebenezer Tetes. I
Yeah,
was not big on his power because it was the guys who he was knocking out. When he got in there with the first guy that could take a punch that couldn't even really box, he went 12 rounds. And that was Kevin Johnson. Like he it was not like he was causing Dubois a bunch of problems because he was this fantastic boxer and Dubois had to figure his way around him. No, he was throwing a weak jab and a fucking turtle shell, just kind of bouncing off of punches. So I'm like, he couldn't knock this dude out. What made me think he could knock a big motherfucker out like Joe Joyce that's shown that he can even punch? Man, I just knew that Daniel Dubois was going to lose that fight, man. I knew he was going to lose that fight.
yeah. I thought he was going to lose. I thought they were going to lose in more devastating fashion, to be honest. But
Yeah.
Like I just thought as soon as Dubois or Joyce landed on him, the fact is that Joe Joyce didn't even throw his backhand in the fight, and he beat him into submission with his jab, the well-timed, perfect placement jab all night long in the same area, in the same part of the field.
Yeah.
Like, he beat him into submission basically with a jab. That's like,
I mean, predominant. That was the predominant weapon. Appreciate that, Miguel Robles. That was the predominant weapon. Was the jabbing. I mean, it was. Look, man, Joe Joyce was. He's just like I said. He's a level above Dubois because he
yeah,
was already. He was. Dubois hadn't. Frank Warren didn't move that kid the right way. Joe Joyce has been put in the right fights. He's got. Again, Joe Joyce had already fought with someone more established than Dubois and Brian Jennings. Dubois hadn't fought anybody more established than Joe Joyce, in my opinion. Nobody he fought was more established than Joe Joyce, at least not uh, to, to the sense of where I could say, oh, he will beat Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? Established like that. It might be guys who have more experience and who's been around the ring a little longer in that sense. But I still wouldn't have picked him to beat Joe Joyce. So it was like the only step up was for Dubois. This is only a step up fight for Dubois. But Brian Jennings had already proven was more established than me than Daniel Dubois. So this wasn't a step up fight for Joe Joyce. This is another fucking notch on his belt.
yeah,
That's how I looked at that. That's another notch on Joe Joyce's belt.
yeah. Brian Jennings would have been a better fight for Dubois than Joyce would have been.
Yeah, I think he knocks Brian Jennings out, but I don't know. I mean, it would have been a better step up. I will say
Yeah,
that, like moving up the
that's
line better. Yeah, but
that's
you know what the reality is, Brian? Brian Jennings would have been a better step up than fucking Ebenezer Tete. He could have got his hands on that fight before.
yeah,
Joe
that's
Joyce. He would have been a better fight than Ricardo Schneider's. He could have got
yeah,
that fight after Joe Joyce. So this is all Frank Warren. Like, what the fuck are you doing giving him a fight with Nathan Gorman? And not Nathan Gorman, but yeah, Nathan Gorman, and then you move uphill with Richard Lartey, and then you go Ebenezer Tete, Fujimoto, and Ricardo Schneider. No, that's not moving this kid the right way. And then you're gonna slap him in there with Joe Joyce. Like, bro, come on, bro. Frank Warren almost sent Daniel Dubois in there to get beat up the way he was moving him, man. That shit make no sense at all.
yeah.
None at all. Ahmed Ali said, I have an amateur fight soon, bro. Yeah, okay. I will win all the best for you and your channel. Hey, yo, yeah, man, look, make sure you email me. Email me, Ahmed. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk at gmail.com. And send me some footage, bro, and we'll air it. We'll air it on here and let people see you, bro. See you fight and all that. We'll follow you throughout your journey, fam. We'll follow you on Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. So good luck to you on that fight, fam. Good luck to you, brother.
If he's a YouTube channel, I'll follow him. Tell him to put
No,
the link.
he's a fighter. He's a fighter.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if he's a YouTube channel, I'll follow him and tell him. Put the link in the description, and I'll follow him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Brian. I'm not sure if he might have a channel, but he's a fighter, so like he's gonna be fighting. So if he sends us the footage, we can put it on our channel because we content creators. He's a fighter. We do YouTube. He does fighting, dude.
Yeah. I used to be that.
Yeah. So wait. Being able to box is not vital for a boxer?
What are you talking about, Smoke?
Yo, good afternoon, good morning.
Oh, hey, good morning. So I might be behind, so maybe I just missed it all, right? Because I've been listening on the. So I just heard Brian talk about the difference between Daniel Dubois and Devin Haney. Was that a while ago?
It was a bit ago.
Okay, sorry, I'm behind. I'm just behind. That's cool.
You're good. So you're talking about Dubois and Haney?
Yeah, I just heard Brian read out my comment, right? Because I heard this whole thing about he doesn't understand the hype behind Haney, but I heard him talk all about how Dubois was going to, all this hype about Dubois. So I'm wondering, how do you understand one guy's hype versus another guy's hype?
Hold on for a second. Brian won't with no fucking hype on Dubois. He was with us. He picked Joe Joyce to knock Dubois out in the 4th round.
Right, but that doesn't. That's fine. That doesn't mean he wasn't behind the Dubois hype, right? Just because he picked Dubois to lose doesn't mean that he wasn't.
I never heard Brian hyping up Dubois. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard that. When me and Brian were talking about
okay,
Dubois, I don't know Dubois hype.
D. He literally just he literally just tried to explain why he thought Dubois' hype was justified over Haney's.
No. I said for a heavyweight boxer, power is important rather than less than have boxing skills. For a heavyweight, because look at Deontay Wilder.
Oh, you talking about that, Smoke? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, Smoke, at the heavyweight division. That's true.
But what does that have to do? Well, I get that he has power at the heavyweight division, but everybody has power. Everybody with power gets hype, right?
Okay, hold on, Brian.
Regardless, let me just finish. Regardless of your division, right? Power gets hype. So if you were to just say he gets hyped up because of his power, that's why he deserves his hype because of power. Okay, I mean, then I have no issue with you, right? So really, the issue is how do we value boxing skills?
No, I value boxing skills, but Devin Haney, to this point, if this is where you're going, Devin Haney to me has shown me he got great boxing skills, but no pop. That's
So wait,
that's
I get it.
Hold on. Yeah, we ain't gonna keep doing this because I want to get in, and I know y'all hearing me wanting to get in.
Okay, go ahead, get in.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so here's the thing, because I don't want to go down this because I think this is going down to a stupid place right now. Because I don't know if it's just a misunderstanding or whatever, but it's simple, and I agree with Brian 100%. Because we're not talking about us or what any of us think individually. We're talking about why people hype. We don't understand the hype behind. So what Brian was saying is because you're talking about these big heavyweights and these fucking casuals and people that throw out this hype smoke. Yes, the power fucking matters. No, the skill doesn't matter to these people that's throwing out the hype. If we're going to sit up here as boxing minds and then sit here and try to argue the skills matter over power, that to me is different because we all understand, you, Brian, IBT, and all of us, that they do both matter. We all understand that. But when we're talking about the people that's making these claims, that's hyping these guys up, Brian is 100% correct, in my opinion. He's 100% correct that these guys are looking at that power because these are the big guys. So the illusion, and I just spoke on this, the illusion is what Dubois was going to do once he landed on Joe Joyce. And I was like, did everybody forget that Joe Joyce has a great chin? So the illusion was based on the power. And that's what it always is with these bigger guys. The bigger you get, the more people look at power. People don't really, watch the smaller guys because they don't feel like they have the power. They see these guys fighting for 12 rounds and shit. So, yes, the higher you go up, power is associated with it, especially from the eyes of the casuals and these idiots out here just pushing these fucking narratives and overhyping these guys. Power is the factor in that big division. Yes.
Okay, so I think that we're now having like 4 separate arguments that are separate from what.
There's no arguments.
Now you're interrupting me. Can I get my thing off? Or do you just not want to talk about this? We can just not talk about it if you don't want to actually talk about it.
No, I just said there's no argument. So go ahead.
Right. So, what I'm saying is that you're saying that I said that there's 4 separate arguments. You said there's no argument without me even trying to lay out why I'm saying we're having separate arguments.
Just
right.
Go ahead.
So. Right. So if we're saying that the reason why for me, the reason why hype happens in boxing period is power, right? And that doesn't matter in any division. If you are a guy who knocks people out, that gives you hype that gives you hype in boxing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can agree on that.
Man, he put himself on mute or something, man.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, when D was saying that there is no argument, I don't think he was saying you have no argument. I think he's saying we aren't arguing. Like this isn't really. I think we agree. I think we agree.
Yeah, because he was like,
Right.
it's forced up arguments, and I'm like, it ain't
No,
no
no.
fucking argument.
Listen. I got it. Sorry about the break. I just had to take care of something real fast. So if you're saying that the reason why guys get hyped is power, right? And I completely, yes, then we all agree. But saying that the reason why but then having Devin Haney's hype questions because he has skill without power, I feel like is the only reason why somebody should receive hype is because they have power.
No, because you
No.
only took, no, hold on, I got this. Because you
Alright.
only do what you usually do. You took one part of what we were saying up here, and you focused on that. We said that was one part of what we said, that the skill plus the lack of power. But what about what we was talking about? The fact he ain't shown it against a higher level competition. What about that? We talking about he not fighting anybody. So all of that coupled with why he's overhyped. It's not just that you're making it on a one isolated. Well, we're gonna just say this. No, because we didn't just say that. We said that coupled with some other things, Smoke, to come to the conclusion that he's overhyped. You're just pointing out just the power situation, and you're trying to make an argument out of it. That's why I said there is no argument here, because we never just said that. This is what you claiming we said on your understanding of it, but we said we coupled that with other things. There's other factors, and that was included. No one based it on that solely.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think that you guys are trying to speak for Brian,
Yeah,
right? And I don't know if you're okay. I can't get it.
trying to get in next vote.
Oh, sorry.
That's how it always goes back and forth, and everybody don't get to talk because he was getting ready to say something before me. But go ahead, IBT, and then Smoke jump in after him.
All right, thanks. And I don't want to speak for Brian, or D, so I'll speak for myself at least. None of us really rated Dubois that highly, hence why we picked against him to get stopped, right? And if that's not enough, what I believe, or at least what I interpreted from what Brian was saying, is that the reason these guys have hype, or at least the reason why Dubois had hype around him, was because of his power, right? Whether it was
Yeah.
warranted or not, I don't think it was warranted. He mentioned the deficiency in his skill set, which I agree, right? He had all this power, but he couldn't do anything with it versus Joyce, which is why we felt the way we did about Dubois. And with Haney, a lot of people rate him because of his skill set, and that's fine. Our concern is his power, right? So it's the inverse of what Dubois had. So
Yeah.
I don't really rate Dubois. Like, Dubois is a good fighter, but I didn't rate him to the extent people were saying he could knock out AJ and crap. And I was like, I think he's gonna get knocked out by Joyce, and he did get stopped, right? So it's
Yeah.
not that they're bad fighters or that we don't rate them. It's just that we did not rate Dubois as highly. So I'm kind of confused why you're saying we did rate him. Brian, what I believed he was doing was highlighting why others did hype Dubois, not why we hyped Dubois.
Yeah, why people did. I don't hype Dubois. I never was really on the Dubois
None
hype
of us
train.
bought that bullshit. Nobody, I didn't buy that bullshit.
Yeah,
Okay, but really, to me, it's not about what we did or somebody else did or all that other stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's turning into some other arguments that I don't think anybody was making. The issue is why don't we understand? And why do we understand one guy but don't understand another? If you're going to say that you understand that Dubois has power and that's where his hype comes from, and you acknowledge that Haney has skills, why do you not understand all of a sudden where the hype comes from?
What do you mean we don't understand though? That's what I'm
That's what I'm
confused about.
saying.
I'm
talking about Brian. I'm talking about a statement that Brian made, not we. I'm not talking about a statement that all of you guys made. I'm talking about a specific statement that Brian made. I tailored my comment to Brian because Brian was the one who made the statement.
Let me retort. I said Devin Haney's never impressed me. Is that the statement? Is that the statement basically you're going on?
No, I was basing it. No, the statement was, I don't understand the hype around Devin Haney.
I don't understand the hype at the moment. At the moment, he's fighting you.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You confusing me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand the hype around Devin Haney. I don't think IBT understands the hype around Devin Haney. We don't understand the hype around Dubois. So because he said he don't understand the hype around Dubois, he don't understand the hype around Devin Haney. What? Because he made one about power, one about skill is your problem? Like what the
He
fuck?
literally explained the hype behind Devin. He literally did this. He literally explained the hype around Dubois. So he does understand the hype around behind Dubois.
Didn't he also explain the hype around Haney though?
As
Yeah.
a
No, he
skill.
didn't.
Yes,
He
he did.
literally said he can fight, but he doesn't do this, so he doesn't get the hype. So literally, one guy is hyped and you understand it because he has power. Another guy, you don't understand the hype, even though you acknowledge his skills.
I never
No,
understood
no,
the hype
see,
around
hold on,
Dubois.
Brian. Hold
I
on.
never. Here.
That's
Can
what I said
I
before.
report? Can I report?
Hold on, Brian. Hold on. Because he's going back and he's isolating the skills. He did explain it because you talking about Brian's one statement, but again, you heard what you want to hear because we all acknowledge the level of competition as well, Smoke. You can have all of these skills by eye test, but if you're doing it against low level competition and you don't have power, see, when you couple all of that, it supports what Brian was saying. So don't sit up here and say he didn't explain it because he explained it, but you're just pulling out one thing and talking about skills and you're trying to focus on that, fam. That's the bullshit. That's the
No,
bullshit.
actually, the Dubois thing is one thing. Also, the power, right? So he showed power against low-level opposition. Haney showed skills against low-level opposition. One guy you understand the hype, the other guy you don't.
No, we don't understand the hype on no guy. What are you talking
He
about?
literally explained the hype behind Dubois, so he does understand the hype behind Dubois.
Now, I said for other people, I could understand the hype around Dubois. For other people, I could understand the hype around Devin Haney. I don't understand either of them, right? Because Dubois has power, no boxing skills, right? And I never.
Then I don't understand the power. Okay, then there's no reason for me to say this whole thing. Right. So if you the entire statement just should have been.
Hold on, guys. I don't want to start muting, guys. Hold the fuck up. Smoke. That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. Because this is what I was saying from the beginning. You took what Brian. Look, Brian. We had to go through all of this, and Brian had to come down and say this. But IBT and I already understood clearly that this is what he meant. You broke down the fucking skill shit, and then you start going and say, "Oh, well, I never had to say that." You never did in the beginning, and that's why I said it's never. It's not even an argument. You're making it an argument because we all
actually just changed his response totally.
I'm not finished talking. We all had that understanding until you just threw this shit in the air. So all you really had to do, we'll say what your beef was. You didn't have to start trying to say what Brian meant and break down this shit. No, because he never meant that. And it was clear to me. I think it was clear to IBT. We never thought that. That was your fucking understanding. I don't know how you came with that perspective that he meant anything but that. But that's why I was like, it's no argument here, fam. You making one. That's what I meant by that. I seen this happening from the start.
Okay, so again, the reason why I was addressing Brian was because of what he said about my comments, right? Because he said, now you're interrupting me, right?
Yeah,
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. He said something very specific. The reason why I got on here was because of his response to what I said, right? And what his response was that his response was the reason why Dubois gets his hype is because it's heavyweight and he has power. He did not say that he did not understand the hype behind Dubois. That is a further clarification after the two of you jumped into a conversation that he and I were having, right? So the idea that my jumping on here to get clarification for his response to my question to him is ridiculous to me now, actually, because now that he has explained himself and clarified his points, now we all understand it. If you understood it before, kudos to you. But I didn't understand his response to my question to him based on his statement.
Well,
hold on, Brian. So were you just listening? To some of what Brian said, or were you listening to the fucking conversation we was having? Because my point is this: if you were listening to the conversation we was having, you always smart enough to break down everything. You could put into context what we're talking about up here. We didn't have to go through this. If you was listening to everything we were saying, instead of just pulling out one specific thing. Oh, you said power and you said skill. Come on, fam. It was easy to see that he didn't mean it that way. Or come on, bro. You're so
Okay,
smart and can break down everything in one situation, but you feel like somebody coming at you or something. Now you don't understand shit. So were you just listening to it, or was you just coming up here trying to defend your fucking comment? Because if you was
okay.
listening, you wouldn't even have had that understanding. Well, how could you have that understanding if you was listening to everything we said? Why would you have that perspective?
I'll tell you how. Because for me, if you're fighting low level competition, regardless of your skills or your power, then it would seem that you wouldn't understand the hype around him unless you're just going to say, you know what, he has power, so anybody with power gets hype, and skills aren't as hype, right? So people don't really appreciate skills like an aficionado. If he said something like that, I wouldn't have come up here. But instead, I get all of this deflection. We talk about how smart I am and all this other weird shit. Like the reason why I got up here was because it seemed like skills were being diminished for something else, right? If that's not what he meant, cool. Let him clarify what he meant. I don't understand why the hell you guys are jumping in like he can't speak for himself.
No, he can speak for himself, but how you just get skills being diminished, that's what's puzzling me. Because not me, Brian, nor fucking IBT is sitting up here giving that assumption or implying that or anything. And there's nothing that Brian said, in my opinion, that implied that. There's nothing
Can
that he
I
said that implied that. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
can I put it in nice words? Last time I watched the Devin Haney fight, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. I fell asleep halfway through. I woke up in the middle of the 12th round, and people I talked to after the fight told me I missed nothing of it, any excitement. Right? There's not very often, Smoke, I fall asleep during a fight. Doesn't matter if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning, 11 p.m. at night. Not very often I fall asleep during a fight. I fell asleep during a Devin Haney Lucas Gamboa fight. For me, I don't think he's an exciting fighter. I watched the first 3 rounds of that fight, and I thought to myself, he ain't knocking Lucas Gamboa out. He ain't going to step on the gas pedal and beat the shit out of him, which I think he's got in his ability to do, but I never thought he would do, and he didn't. Right? He's a good boxer. I give him that. He's got skills. I give him that. But for me, he's just not an exciting fighter, and that's a personal choice of mine. He's not an exciting fighter for me. I've never watched Devin Haney fight and went, wow, that was an impressive performance. Wow,
Yeah.
that was good. I've never done it. I've watched every single one of Devin Haney's professional fights. I've went back on YouTube and watched his first fight to his 26th fight. And I've never been excited about Devin Haney. He's a good fighter. He's a good boxer. But personally, I've never been excited about him. That's just where I am. And the level of competition, maybe he's got more in his locker if he steps up in level of competition. I'd like to see him step up and prove to me he is a good boxer. He is a good fighter. He's got a little bit more in him, but I always feel like he's on third gear when he fights. He doesn't even, I always feel like he doesn't even try. And I think he's got more in him. That's where I am with him. And I'd love him to prove me wrong. I'd love him to come up and just put on a performance, a virtuoso performance where I go, yeah, I can see the hype around this kid. But right now, I just don't see the hype.
Yeah, I don't see the hype. I
Yeah,
don't see the hype.
so I totally agree that was a boring fight, right? For me, I don't know. It still sounds like to me, and this may just be from my ears, but it still sounds like to me what you are equating hype or excitement around is actually getting a stoppage.
Well, no, not even that. Not even that, but just stepping up levels. For me, he was the same level the whole night. It's like watching Danny Garcia fight, right? Danny Garcia is going to be Danny Garcia. He's going to fight at his own pace. Even when he's up in the ring with better competition, he's going to fight at his own pace. He doesn't have another gear, right? But what makes Danny Garcia fights exciting is the fact that he's fighting top fighters that will try to push him to the next level. Right now, he's not fighting that level of competition, Devin Haney.
And not only that, the motherfucker should have stopped Gamboa.
He should.
Like, we don't have to predicate this shit on, we don't have to make it like it is a power thing. But when you, as the fucking fighter, and your fucking dad run around talking about how you're going to be, number one, more impressive than Crawford and Tank, and then you, as the fighter, talking about a gust of wind could knock over Gamboa, it don't have a fucking thing to do with the idea of power or nothing. He was supposed to stop him. If this is the fucking if this is the picture you're painting, you and your dad running around painting, it's going to be much more impressive, putting on a spectacular performance. Augusta Win could knock over Gamboa. I wonder why the fuck shouldn't anybody expect him to knock him out? Come on with this bullshit. Devin Haney underperformed in that fight, period. And this fucking Haney bullshit is getting out of hand. He fucking underperformed. He underperformed by what anybody expected. He underperformed by how he portrayed the fight, and his dad portrayed the fight was going to be. He underperformed by the fact that he said Augusta Win could knock out Gamboa, so he doesn't have to be this super powerful guy, or nobody expect him to have all the power in the world. But when you as a fighter say Augusta Win could knock out Gamboa, then your punching power must be less than a fucking Augusta Win.
Okay, so I get that. I get all that. So unless you have so your skill level doesn't actually matter, right? So it's just whether or not you have. Let me finish. Because I'm absorbing what you're saying, and I'm trying to get to a place where we understand that skills don't mean it. Skills are run second. They run counter to power. Right, it's all about even if it's a guy that you're supposed to knock out, that you say you're going to knock out, and the expectation is that you'll knock him out. If you blank the guy in the fight, right, he doesn't win a round, and you just outbox him, but don't knock him out, right? A guy that you should knock out, that you said that you're going to knock out, that equals that what? That his skill level doesn't deserve the hype.
No, Smoke, you're trying to take us to a place you don't need to fucking take us. Like, we don't need your understanding on that about skills versus power. You're trying to arrive at a place we don't need you to fucking take us, because we're already there. And like I said at the beginning of this, nobody is implying otherwise. None of us. We're not implying otherwise. So we don't need you to lead us anywhere, because we're not implying anything outside of that. Not what we're talking about, Devin Haney. No one's implying that. Now, if you're taking it as Brian's statement or anybody's implying that, well, you're taking it the wrong fucking way, because ain't nobody implying that, fam.
Okay, so everything you just said literally implied that. You said we said Augusta Win wouldn't knock him over. We said that we should have knocked over Gamboa. We said he underperformed. We said he underperformed against Gamboa, right? But in the Gamboa fight, we saw the guy's skills. So really, if you're saying all of this stuff, then
no. You're not gonna see again, Smoke. You're not gonna get up here and tell me what I said. When I'm telling you what I mean. Fuck what you could twist the word. I'm telling you what I mean. So
okay, what do you mean? What do you mean, T? What do you mean?
If you don't want to listen to what I mean, and you want to make this up as you go along, that's fine. But I'll tell you this one last time, and I'm pretty sure that it's a clear understanding. All of this is a clear understanding, except to you. I'll say it again so that maybe you and you only can understand this. With Devin fucking Haney, it is not a single thing. No single issue that you're trying to make. It doesn't boil down to no single issue. It is a whole lot of things that play a factor in the fact, and the point that we're making with Devin Haney. It's hype around him and all of that, fam. It's not just about his power. It's just not, you can't single anything out. We're not implying anything about his skills. Listen, this kid, if you run around, if your dad runs around and hypes up a fight, for that reason, you should knock him out. If you say only Augusta win, okay, and you're going to put on such a fine performance that, it's going to be better than Crawford and better than Tank Davis. Well, first and foremost, they knocked him out. Okay, that's first and foremost. Now, no, a better performance is not predicated on knocking him out, but the skill which Devin Haney displayed in that fight was also lackluster. So it's not just based on the fact that he did knock him out. His performance was lackluster to us because of his skill set as well. There were more things that he could have done, the sweet science wise, right?
Okay.
He could have beaten. Hold on, I'm not finished. He could have beaten fucking knockout. He didn't even have to get a knockout. He could have beaten Gamboa in a much more impressive fashion, skill wise, and we would have given him the credit without the knockout. So none of
Yeah.
this is predicated on the knockout, lack skill of any. We're not implying any of that, and you don't have to take us any fucking where. My thing is that Devin Haney underperformed for so many reasons. Knockout is a part of it, but he underperformed for more reasons than just the knockout. Again, you can pull out little pieces and try to make this as if we're saying, no, I'm not saying that, bro. There are
Hey, D, can I ask you a question? Just a straight question. Can I ask you a straight question?
Hold up. There are many reasons this dude underperformed. Skills are part of it. Knockout is a part of it. The level of excitement he offered is a part of it. His fucking charisma in the goddamn ring is a part of it. And on everything. The shit was just boring. It was boring, and he didn't outclass this guy the way you should even outclass him. If, like, say, you're a Lomachenko or something, just kind of dance around this guy, pepper him up, and make him look amateurish in the ring. That man, he ain't make Gamboa look amateurish in that ring. Fuck out of here, man. This fucking.
Okay, can I ask you a straight question, just direct question, and I think it'll clear everything up for everybody, right? Do you think that Devin Haney's skills are overhyped? That his skills do not justify the hype that he gets?
I think that Devin Haney is. Go ahead, RBT. You go ahead there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the skills discussion, I think he's been given I think the skills that they're talking about have been exaggerated, right?
Exactly.
I think that he hasn't demonstrated the skill set that people compare him to, which is why I'm saying they need to cut the Floyd discussion. Like, all that needs to just stop.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't obviously I was disappointed in the fact that there wasn't a knockout, but if he had dropped him, just embarrassed Gamboa, I would be like, all right, well, he didn't get the knockout technically, but he got the next best thing. It's whatever, right? For example, Tank got multiple knockdowns and the knockout, the TKO, but it wasn't like, it's still he that was an underperformance for him, right? I felt like there were opportunities presenting themselves repeatedly in front of Haney, and I didn't see any urgency. I didn't see any desire to impress or overperform. I saw him going, "Well, I won that round. Okay, that's fine." You know, I saw Gamboa make repeated mistakes, and I saw Haney he wouldn't execute on them. Or I saw Haney make repeated mistakes. It wasn't that he put on a technical master class and and didn't get the stoppage. It was he just kind of won on points. It was convincing win, but it wasn't an inspiring win or impressive win. It didn't tell me anything about Haney I didn't already know. It didn't tell me anything about Gamboa I didn't already know. It was boring. It was redundant.
Right, and to answer that question, fuck yeah, it's about his skills. Goddamn right, it's about his skills. I don't give a shit about the power portion of it, because I believe if you don't even have to have like what they call respectable power, where you can get a guy's attention. Even if you just got decent power, if you got enough skills, you're gonna punish a guy. I'm gonna watch you punish a guy skill wise. You know, yeah, I would have liked to see them get dropped, knocked down, but skill wise, I wanted to be, something like this motherfucker don't have a chance. I seen Gamboa have success. I seen Devin Haney making mistakes. I seen him failing to capitalize off of mistakes Gamboa was making. I wasn't fucking awed by his fucking skill. But the way people talk about him, the next Floyd Mayweather and all of this, you should be awed by his skill when he fights a Gamboa. I wasn't awed by his skill. Not to mention he didn't knock him out, or at least knock him down. So the power is coupled with these things, but it ain't based on that. Nobody's even implying that bullshit. My thing is just that Devin Haney is not impressive. He's overhyped in every way possible. People even start he coming into his mastery now because of the Abdulayev situation. So at one point, his power was even overhyped. Because what happens now with all of this power he might be coming into? He ain't coming into a damn thing. The skill overhyped, the power overhyped, Devin Haney overhyped until he proves it. Devin Haney is overhyped. Anybody can sit here and try to isolate something we say and make it on one point. That motherfucker's overhyped all around. He need to get it together.
Right. So again, that is actually speaking to my point. You're saying that even by looking at his skills, that guy does not deserve the hype based on the skills that we've seen from him so far. That I completely get. Right. So there it is. That's not a comparison about anything else.
That's what I'm saying. We both saying that, and we all understood. Brian, we all understood we were coming from it. That's why I said you were the only one.
Okay, great. That's why we clarify, right? I don't understand. Okay, first off, we went all around the houses with all this other stuff. Okay, like literally, I'm gonna hop off and let you just cook, right? Because this isn't really a back and forth. You're just going off on a rant and repeating yourself a bunch of times, and for some reason, trying to discount the fact that I got up here to clarify what Brian said, and what you said has nothing to do with what he said. So there was some clarification that needed to happen, regardless of what you think everybody believes or understood or whatever.
Okay, well, now you're clear, so you understand that nobody was implying anything. Look, Devin Haney needs to step it the fuck up. That's for one thing for sure. Devin Haney needs to step the fuck up. And all of these skills that he's supposed to have, forget about the power. I don't think that's a fucking question for anyone. But all of these skills he's supposed to have, well, he needs to show us against a valid opponent.
Yeah, you know? I think it's to show. I think it's to show more, right? I expect the Yuka Gamboa, right? Look what Floyd Mayweather did to Arturo Gatti, right? Yuka Gamboa's Gatti in this situation. If we're comparing Floyd Mayweather, and this is what I'm going to say to Smoke, if people are comparing Floyd Mayweather to Devin Haney, right? He should do to Yuka Gamboa what Floyd Mayweather did to Gatti. Because to me, they're at the same similar level of competition, right? I think Gatti is even better than Yuka Gamboa, but you know,
I'd agree.
To me, he should do that, right? That's the performance I want to see: scintillating, nice skills, combination punching, just look confident and cocky, and just beat the man into submission. Just beat the man to the point where you can't see out of an eye, where he's breathing heavily, where
right. That's an impressive skill display. Exactly, Brian. That's an impressive skill display.
That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see from Devin Haney, and I didn't see it, and that's why I said it was lackluster. That's why I said I'm unimpressed. I'm unimpressed with Devin Haney, what I've seen from him so far. Do I think maybe he can do better in the future? Maybe. I also said he was young and maybe he can improve and maybe he fights to the levels competition. But when Floyd Mayweather fought a B, C, D level opponent, he destroyed them. That's not. Devin Haney didn't destroy Yuka Gamboa. I expected more. And that's the point where I'm coming from. I expected more from Devin Haney. And looking at that there, I just don't see the hype. That's where I'm coming from.
Man, again,
that makes me.
Like I said, sometimes I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but sometimes when Smoke comes with these arguments, it's like I seen him break down things that's more complicated to understand, and he understands that. How don't you get this? Why you don't get this? Like that. So it's just perplexing to me. Like, why are you so puzzled now? I see you get through things that's much more complicated than this. Much more complicated than this. Now you seem to be so puzzled. And to me, when people do that, when I know that you can figure things out a lot better than you're portraying now, it just seems to me like you're just trying to spark a silly argument. Or you don't like the fact that somebody came at a comment you said. Like, it's no argument. That's why I was saying from the beginning, ain't no argument. It's what you're trying to create. And then we come to the conclusion that, oh, okay, well, I just misunderstood. Whatever, bro. That's why I'm saying I don't know if you did misunderstood it at all. I don't think so. But whatever. I'm speculating here. So to Smoke's benefit, he misunderstood. I hope everything's clarified now. Now we should be clear on everything. Fuck doo-doo. Yeah, the guys. Oh, y'all talking about Andre? Man, I'm not even gonna get started on that. I got started on that fool yesterday and went an extra 2.5 hours. As a matter of fact, it's about 3. All right, yeah, we already shut this one down, man. I want to shut this down before this medicine start wearing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So give me some closing thoughts, Brian. Y'all will shut it down before the medicine start wearing out on me.
Okay. Okay. Well, the ending was a little bit strange, but bar that, champions, undisputed champions, and weight divisions. I'd love to see a few next year. I think Josh Taylor Ramirez is the most likely to happen. I think because of Floyd. I think because, or not Floyd. I think because of Anthony Joshua, and I can see that happening. Inoue, well, he's going to win versus the Nito Donaire. I think Inoue would win that if that happens. Jamel Charlo probably will happen. Hopefully next year we'll have a good few undisputed champions. So these fights, and I'm excited for next year of what we hope will happen, and hopefully we get a lot of these fights happening, and I'm just excited. Come on, let's make some of these fights happen, and let's get a few undisputed champions. The one I want is heavyweight because what age was I last time? 1990. I was 16 last time. Heavyweight was, I was 16 last time there was a heavyweight undisputed champion who was Lennox Lewis in 1999. So let's get that done.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Let's get it done. Let's get it.
Thanks for having me on, and everyone in the chat.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
IBT. It's some closing thoughts, brother.
Good stream. I appreciate you having me on. Devin Haney is a fighter with a lot of potential, but he needs to show up or step up in order to display that, because thus far I haven't seen anything to be so high on him. I think Shakur Stevenson is just a better version of what people claim Devin Haney is, and I think the lightweight division is very exciting right now. There's a lot of good fights to be made. There's a lot of good contenders and former champions, and just guys there for Haney to fight, right? So I hope they can make that happen. 2021 or 2020 is looking to end on a very strong note. And 2021, I hope, continues this momentum, and we're going to see some undisputed fights. I'm sure we get 140 to undisputed, and I'm very excited for that. One of my most anticipated fights in the sport, and hopefully we can get a heavyweight undisputed or 154 or something like that. Just because boxing is very exciting right now. Lots of tremendous talent out there, and I just want to see the best fight the best. Have a good one, D.
All right, appreciate you coming through, fam. Well, guys, it's like this, man. 4-belt undisputed. 2021 got a lot of possibilities. 118, 135, 140, 147, 154, 175. Of course, heavyweight. All of these possibilities, many, many, many divisions, we have a possibility of 4-belt undisputed. How many will we get? That's the question. For sure, Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez and Jamel Charlo versus the winner of Patrick Teixeira or Brian Castano. Pretty comfortable with those. Pretty sure we'll get those. But Naoya Inoue, Anthony Joshua, Errol Spence and Crawford, Better BF Bevo. That's the question. When we get these, man. Teofimo, Devin Haney, clear that situation. Will we get these other 4-belt undisputed matches in 2021? We shall see. Hopefully they open up these economies, let some fans get in there, and then the promoters and the networks take advantage this time. Never know when it'll all be taken away from you. So maybe they'll take advantage of it and give us the fights we want when they loosen up on the fans returning. Maybe they will be grateful for the fact that having all of the fans in the stand and the money coming and this attention to your sport is something that you should capitalize on and deliver the fights the fans want to see. Maybe this will help us out. Never can tell, but appreciate all you guys coming through, listening to us go on and on for about 4 hours. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.